Welcome to our latest session of Dragon of Icespire Peak. We missed last week, so we have a bit of catching up to do here. We will do a quick recap, though with the extra week break, the memories might not be so great, so I'll try to make this brief, more high-level summary, and then we will jump right into the action. So likely you guys will recall, we were back in the gnomish area in the last session as you guys were moving around that cavern complex looking for this shape changer that you had heard from the gnomes was causing some trouble. It seemed as though some of the gnomish king, the one who had perhaps gone a little bit crazy, you might even think of it as he realized the danger of this shape changer and imprisoned his fellow king inside of a secure room and actually tied him down to try to make sure that that other king couldn't be hurt or killed by this shape changer. You guys did make your way around the cavern complex, have some conversation with some different gnomes, run into some interesting things, namely some odd mushrooms that were growing in the center area. You had a couple choice encounters with the gnomes themselves, in particular one that was a little bit also, let's say, distracted. And actually, as you guys entered, she was sitting in a contraption that had crossbows on either side. It could spit around as she was on this sort of platform, and she fired these bolts off at the player characters. You guys did manage to defeat her, eventually destroying that machine, though she, even after extracting her, she didn't really seem all there. Again, she seemed like maybe she was a little bit addled. You guys tried to determine if this was some type of temporary effect or somebody had done something to her, but you got more or less got the impression that instead she was maybe not all there to begin with and was more taken with sort of research, that kind of thing, and perhaps just misread the situation and thinking you guys were a threat. Of course, Shape Changer could take any form, so who knows what her instructions were. But you guys continued on your way, found an area in the back where there was a small room, and you guys got engaged with the Shape Changer, defeated it, and eventually made your way back to the kings themselves, and through some silver tongue negotiations were able to convince the king to open the door, releasing his fellow king as you let them know about the danger being over, being that you had taken care of the Shape Changer. After having done so, both the kings were very happy. The first king Korbaz was the one that kind of lost his mind a little bit and imprisoned his fellow king Nurkly. And Nurkly eventually came out after you guys sort of rescued him, and he came out and thanked you so much for all of your assistance, gave you guys a few different items for your efforts. As you guys will recall from Phandalin, your request was to come here, let the gnomes know of the danger of the White Dragon, and see if they had anything they could give you that would assist in case Phandalin came under attack by this White Dragon. So gave you a few different things, which you guys took and were happily rewarded this, and you guys stayed there in the gnomish area, bunking down in some of these rooms where some of the other gnomes had been resting. Once you guys slept through the night in Gnomengard, you guys then made your way back across land over to Phandalin. As you made your way back to Phandalin, rejoined the town there, you were able to speak with the townmaster Harbin, and he offered to purchase one of the items that the Gnomish Kings had given you, which was this hat of Wizardry, and he offered to purchase it for 50 gold. Your group decided that as nobody in your immediate group could use it, it sort of made sense to sell it, so you ended up selling it over to the townmaster. With that taken care of, you guys made your way over to the bar where there was quite a bit of commotion at the Stonehill Inn, and eventually were able to force your way sort of in there, moving past all these curious looky-loos. And getting inside, you discovered that there was a rider who had come into town and seemingly was in a very distressed state. And you picked up some information after speaking with the innkeeper, and he explained to you that the rider had the story to tell, got the rider out from the back. The rider then went on to explain to you guys that he was actually from an area far to the northeast, and in the area that he was from and had come under attack. The specific area was known as the Butterskull Ranch, and he explained that the Butterskull Ranch had come under attack from orcs and had seemingly killed or at least subdued most of the workers there, but this particular individual, this rider, said that the owner of the Butterskull Ranch was a tough son of a gun, and he had high hopes that that person was still alive. He asked for any assistance that you guys could offer, perhaps to go there, or really anybody in town. There was a bit of sort of back and forth about whether or not you guys were interested in trying to do this. You realize that this is quite a long travel, however, altogether looking at somewhere in the 65 miles or so if you stuck right to the trail to get from Phandalin over to Butterskull Ranch, which is, you know, a several day journey. So with that in mind, you decided to instead head over to Falcon's Hunting Lodge, which you had heard of previously. The instructions that you got from the innkeeper were less than precise, but it was something along the lines of head up to the river and then follow it and you can't miss it. And as you guys left Phandalin, you interpreted that as head northwest straight to the river and then follow it from there east into the forest. Whether that's exactly what the innkeeper meant or not, you guys haven't discovered yet. However, on your travels there, staying alongside the outskirts of the large forest here, you guys did run into some interesting situations. So just on the edge of the Neverwinter Wood, as you guys bunked down or bedded down one of these nights, you found that there was all of these insects all over the area. Many thousands of them, and they were certainly very annoying and getting all over you and sort of biting at you guys. Not enough. This is obviously not like a deadly threat, but it was very disturbing, and in fact they had a little bit of a debilitating effect on some of you guys, as you had a really hard time shaking this feeling off, and it made it sleeping a little bit more difficult as your thoughts kept drawing back to this terrible event. But you did make your way a bit out of the range of where all these insects were gathering. Walked maybe 20-30 minutes further north and found an area that seemed like it was fine, so you rested there. You then picked up the next morning with Talhoun using some of his lay on hands ability to help some folks out. I think at least one person who had suffered an ill effect from these bugs. Talhoun himself, luckily, being a paladin, was immune to any mechanical effects from this disease, so he just felt maybe a little bit queasy in the stomach, but nothing that would really hurt him in any way. So you guys then made your way, continuing further along to get to the river itself, and then start making your way east. Once you got really close to the river, before you started getting into the forest itself, you guys spent a little bit of time searching around here and discovered a large pile of dung and also some tracks. And as you guys looked over this, you determined that the large pile of dung had come from boars, but perhaps very large boars was what Finnegan was able to determine. And you guys also noticed that there were some tracks, but following them was kind of challenging, as there was not like a clear path of where they went. With this in mind, you guys hit the river, and again, still following those loose instructions from the innkeeper, decided to make your way east along the river itself. And you guys walked into the forest a short distance before suddenly you noticed that there was some type of a wooden structure in the forest that you could sort of just make out at a distance. So you guys are right there at the edge of the forest, right next to the little river, and continuing east into the forest. So that is our quick summary recap. Is there anything I missed there that anybody would like to add?
Well, just a reminder, more of an addition. I think I dropped infusion on Bryn, so she has a normal sword, and Talhoun still has a +1, and Kat has a +1 weapon.
Switched up the infusions. Okay, yep. Anything else anybody would like to add to our recap? Okay, hearing nothing else, I'll assume that was sufficient, and we recall where we're at here. We'll go ahead and award inspiration to Dylan for his, once again, entry into Reggie's research journal. So Reggie there will have inspiration. So I'll get you guys over back to the world map, or the map of the Sword Coast, I should say, as this is where you guys are. All right, so you guys are making your way along the river into the east. Like I said, so you're in the forest. You're not very far into the forest. You could think of this as perhaps maybe a couple of miles into the forest before you spot this wooden structure. It looks like some type of a tower, perhaps, or maybe just a lookout tower or a mini fort, something like that. Hard to make out exactly what it is from this distance. It's probably a good 200 to 300 feet away from you, further into the forest.
too
Hey.
far away for us to see inside it? Could we see like anyone in there? Or
Give me a blind check as you really focus and try to see if you can spot anything of interest or any people inside of this building. You get a decent look here, Kat, as you're looking in this direction, trying to see if there's anything there. You don't notice any people. It does have like you're based on the way you're looking, what you're seeing, it almost looks like there's maybe 4 posts, one in each corner, that is holding this tower up. And there is you get just a glimpse through the trees and the foliage here of a ladder that is built on the side of it that you could use to climb, but it doesn't look like it's in great condition. The entire fort looks like it's seen better days. This lookout tower here seems like it could be maybe something that hasn't been maintained for quite some time. The top of it is covered, but there is basically a half wall on the top. So where the ladder goes from the ground all the way to the top, you obviously can climb that. That is open. Everywhere else is covered by like a half wall, and then there is a shelter on top.
it's a little dilapidated.
No movement or anything like that? I can't quite tell.
Nothing I can make out, but perhaps we should approach cautiously, just in case there might be someone we don't see in the area.
I bet he set up traps around here.
I was thinking the same, Kertu. Watch your feet.
No, somebody should look for traps.
Suggestion
Yes.
to look for traps right in this area, or approach the lookout tower and search there.
From this point on, I think we should make sure we don't step on anything funny. So maybe walk slow and keep an eye out. And I'm gonna look around on the ground and watch your step, Misa.
Yeah, I think it would be safe if we just walked slowly towards it, keeping an eye out for traps.
Alright, so I will assume you guys are basically moving at a slow rate right now, being very careful and looking out cautiously for any types of dangers. So you're moving a little bit slower. Now, being that there's no immediate threat here, did you have a preference on which direction you approach the tower from? Right now it is slightly to your northeast. You could just walk straight to it if you wish, or if you wanted to try to come at it from a different angle, you could do that as well.
Does it look like it's on the same side of the river as us, or on the other side?
Same side as you, on the south side of the river.
Okay.
Are we like right next to the river, like out in the open, or are we trudging through the woods?
Right now you're close to the river, but where you see this lookout tower is in the actual woods.
We could come at it from the river. We could just walk down the river and then come at it from there. I bet there's a path to the river.
Yeah, but I think that the reason why the tower is there so they can see something coming down the river. I mean, otherwise, it's pretty dense forest. A lookout tower wouldn't do you much good.
Can we tell where the front is, Adam?
From what Kat saw, if you're presuming that the ladder is the front, it is on the west side of the structure.
Adam, I'd like to look for like footprints or something of that nature to kind of make sure that, human feet or others.
Sure, so it sounds like you'd like to take a couple of minutes here, Kertu, and look in this immediate vicinity around the natural ground here and the grass, that sort of thing, see if you can find anything. Go ahead and throw me a blind check, and we'll see how well you do on a survival. And as a reminder, our tokens are in the lower left corner on the world map. Yep, alright, there we go. You don't spot anything, Kertu, that gives you any kind of pause. You don't see any kind of obvious signs. Obviously, there's different areas where the ground is sort of disturbed here and there, but whether that is animals or trees having fallen or things being drugged, it's hard to say. You can't make out heads or tails.
We don't even know if this is his home or if it belongs to all those orcs.
Cat, you want to see maybe if you can get closer and see if you hear or see anything?
I'll be ready to blast somebody if somebody comes up and pops their head.
Sure, I can
Go,
see
Cat,
if I
go,
can
go,
check it out.
go check it out.
I appreciate your encouragement.
You can do it, Cat. I know you can.
So I'll start advancing slowly, I guess. If the tower is off the river, I guess we kind of have to go through the woods, so I'll keep an eye out for anything I might be stepping on as I'm approaching it from whatever direction we're...
Yeah, so pretty much you can pick. If you want to go directly to it, you'd basically just be walking east, perhaps slightly southeast, to go towards the tower. But literally, you can say, I want to approach the tower from the north, the east, the south, the west. Because you've got the freedom of movement right now, you can. That choice is completely up to you.
I'd like to stay in view of my party, so whichever way is the...
The most direct would be southeast right now.
Okay, so I will start heading southeast.
All right, fair enough. So you start making your way southeast and moving slowly and quietly as you do. Go ahead and throw me a quick blind check, as I'll count this as your stealth, as you're looking around carefully and cautiously for anything out of the ordinary. All right, yeah, nothing jumps out at you as being dangerous in any way. Everything looks to be no real issues here.
I'll gesture to my party to come closer behind me as I keep going at the same pace.
All right, party, how far away from Cat are you maintaining?
What do you think? 15, 20?
Yeah, I want to
Yeah.
Talon, being big, strong guy, definitely wants to be a little closer, but 15, 20 sounds safe.
So Talhoun, you feel a little knock on your knee. Go on, go on, go on. I'm right behind you, and I'm peeking around the side of your leg. Go, 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 go.
Yeah.
All right, so for rough estimates, I'm going to assume the group is 20 feet back as Kat is making her way through this area. Kat, I'm going to move you to a separate map so you can see what you see here. And group, if you decide to get closer, then I will move more folks over.
What's going on, Talhoun? I'm looking around. Is he all right?
Yeah. Cat seems fine.
Okay.
I'm gonna get a little closer too.
Just for funsies, we're going to let the eye on the world see what Kat sees, and then everybody watching can see, but the group won't. All right, Kat, so you're approaching. You notice this little hill as you're coming in right by this tree.
Okay. Is the hill tall enough that I can't see over it?
It is, yes.
Okay. As I was approaching the tower, do I have a general idea of where it would be on this?
It is to your
Okay.
southeast at the moment. So as you were coming down, seeing it through the trees, that sort of thing, I would say even from where you're at right now, dynamic lighting is a bit limited as far as height goes, but I would say you can actually see through the trees that the tower itself is here. You just unfortunately can't see it. You can just see the tips of it.
Yeah.
Guess once Cat gets about 15 feet into the zone, I guess I'll pop in there.
All right, fair enough. I will watch for that movement.
With what's his name? Oh, it's been a while. Finn. There we go. Okay, sorry.
No worries. Cat, as you make your way to the edge of this little hill, you hear a loud snort all of a sudden as you spot a very large boar. What do you do, Cat?
Is it looking at me?
It is not right now. It seems to be its nose in the ground. You can hear this snorting sound as it seems to be trying to perhaps dig something in the ground.
I would like to back off and return to the group as quietly as I can without attracting its attention.
Throw me another blind check to represent your efforts of getting out of here without being detected. You slowly begin sliding back and have not seemed to gain the attention of this giant boar.
I know they're not on the map right now, but I'd like to make my way back to the party and warn them about large animal in the area.
Okay, so what I'll do is I will slide you to here, and we will assume that they are like 15 feet behind you at the moment. So if you guys want to obviously just avoid this area, you can just say that and you move right on, right? If you guys wish to get closer to these animals, that's always an option as well. So group, what would you like to do?
Does Cat inform us about the boar?
I believe she said she did, yes.
Okay, I wasn't sure because the way that it was worded, I wasn't sure if she was too far away. So I guess I'll just look down at Finn and food?
Did anybody buy any extra food before we left? I was thinking about that earlier.
Food? I have. Let's see. I have medium mushrooms from your back. Oh, there's another one. And then rations, and I have. That's it. I was hoping you guys would catch some stuff for me. Remember?
Cat, did the boar have a harness on?
I think it was just a wild animal.
Correct. You did not see a harness, Cap.
I've heard of people riding wild boars before, so I want to make sure we didn't kill somebody's pet. I mean, if that's what we want bacon for. I mean, you know.
Pork, bacon?
And are we sure that the boar is going to be glad to have a little piece of food from us? Like, it doesn't seem like a domesticated thing.
We're gonna have to kill the boar, Finn.
Yeah, that's good. I could make good boar. I remember an old recipe. Never mind. Okay, focus.
I also think it might be a good little gift to bring to Falcon.
Some nice crispy bacon.
Hey, hey, are these guys pack animals? I can't remember. Is there a way I can check and see if these guys hang out together in packs, or are they solo animals?
Give me a nature check, Finn, to see if you can recall any information about giant boars. You don't really recall. Man, animals, there's so many of them. They all have different habits and stuff. You're not really sure about giant boars.
I bet those ones who pooped all those big poops. That's about all I know.
I only saw one, but it's possible there could be others nearby.
I think, Cat, that you should go over there and go surprise, and then have the boar chase you, and then all of us can shoot fire at him.
It's not a bad idea. More of an ambush.
Then you could cook it and kill it at the same time.
Yes.
Like we did with the squirrel.
But isn't our goal to find the fort? Does that look like Falcon's fort? I'm looking around the legs of Talhoun. I don't know. Does that look like a place a hunter would stay at?
It looks like a ruined tower. It seems like it hasn't been used in a while. I don't think this is his lodge, but we're discussing whether we want to try to kill this thing for food or just move on.
Could be just a hunter stand.
I think Cat's right. I mean, we don't necessarily need to kill it. I mean, we have few rations and everything, but I'm not against it personally.
Did Bryn come with us, or did we say we left her behind?
We are assuming Bryn is here with the group.
Okay.
She's done. She had her hangover and she ran up and caught up and said, "Hey, what are you guys going without me?"
What do you think, Bryn? Are you feeling particularly bloodthirsty this morning?
Yes, I think we should kill this thing. I'm hungry for some bacon or something better than what we last had. I can hurl a javelin at it and see if it'll bleed out.
So it sounds like perhaps the group would like to get a little bit closer here in more of a tactical sense. Is that correct?
Brynwood.
Yeah, I like the ambush idea. I can hide over here, Misa, and I instinctively grab her hand. We gotta stick together.
And you notice she nods softly towards you, and she's looking around, kind of has this a little bit of a maybe bemused look on her face. As you guys approach, I'm going to move you all to this map. I'm going to make sure that you're all able to see this. Okay, so what I'd like you all to do is place your tokens up in the top left corner. So right where you see me pinging, go ahead and drop your token right up here. And then feel free to slide slightly so that you're each in your own individual square.
Adam, I didn't see the ping, so I'm going to go ahead and risk it. All right, other side. Thanks.
I'm stuck. Thank you.
No worries. Okay, so I think that's most of you. And yes, Misa is coming up behind.
Where's the boar? Which way?
Southeast up the hill a bit.
Yeah, just around this tree here.
Oh, I better get back here.
I'm gonna stop and just point.
Who's fastest? They've got to be the lurer.
All right, Talhoun, as you get a bit closer here, are you trying to move quietly?
As quietly as I can.
All right, go ahead and throw me a stealth check, blind check, and I assume you're wearing heavy armor, so this would be at disadvantage, correct?
I don't remember.
You have 16 AC. I'm almost certain you have chainmail on.
Chainmail.
Chainmail. Yeah. Yep. It's heavy. I have disadvantage.
You move quietly as best as you can, just brushing against the wood here, kind of stepping closer. It does not seem as though this boar has detected you.
I wasn't detected?
Does not seem to be.
I'm gonna, I guess, motion for my party and start taking some steps forward.
Is this traversable or is this...
It's a tree, so you could push into it a bit, but yes, you couldn't move straight through the trunk.
Okay. Maybe I'll try to sneak around the other side here.
I'm gonna, I guess, lean over towards Bryn and throw a javelin.
All right.
Okay, so that is your intent, Bryn, is you're going to grab a javelin from your side and try to throw it?
Yes.
All right, that will put us in initiative order here. So you have effectively surprised this boar, as it has not detected your group so far. So I will throw initiative, and I will assume here that you guys all want to lower your initiative so that Bryn goes first. Is that correct?
I will, yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's see. So Bryn's technically second. So what we're going to do is lower Reggie's initiative by a couple of points here.
0.01.
Boy, we're
Okay.
ready for this one. Look at that.
Yeah, that worked out pretty well. I like it when it's easy for me to move stuff. So, yes, the group is able to, like I say, surprise this boar. So, Bryn, it is your turn. Feel free to make your javelin attack if that's what you wish to do. All right, you throw the javelin through the air. The boar had no idea you were there, but unfortunately, even with that, the javelin does not connect as you throw it, and it just connects with the tree. Now the boar definitely knows you are there. Anything else on your turn here, Bryn? Okay, next up is Reggie.
Alright, I'm gonna slide past Kertu here. So, excuse me, Kertu. I'm gonna move to right here. And I'm gonna hold a spell at him. Right now I can't see the boar, but once it comes into this area, right? I think you see my arrow, right? Even though it's on no one sees it.
I do, yes.
Okay, once I see the boar enter into that general area, I want to cast Entangle Spell.
Okay, so readying a spell that's a leveled spell, just so you're aware, what that means is you pre-cast the spell, and then once your trigger happens, you unleash the spell. If the trigger does not happen, you still lose the spell slot. Is that what you like to do?
Yeah, so let me phrase it better then, instead of it being
Sure.
a certain area. Once I see the boar or it comes into my eye range, I want to be able to cast Entangle on it.
Fair enough, that works. All right, so essentially you begin concentrating now as you have cast a spell and you're holding on to that energy to release the spell as we move to Kertu's turn.
Surprise, surprise, surprise!
All right, you angle your shot this way, shooting a little bit over this hill, but also does not connect with this giant boar as it just swings over its body.
Dang, that boar he's dexterous. He knows how to dodge.
I'm going to move there, and I will end my turn.
Okay, next up is Finnegan.
Oh, I see it. Do I get to see it from here?
If
see
you can
some
see
of
it
it
on the map, you can see it.
All right. Oh, I see it. I take my Zippo out, flip it up, and blow on it. And out comes my firebolt. Let's see.
All right, you aim your shot past your companions in this narrow little slant, trying to hit onto this boar, but unfortunately, it does not connect.
Well, I got closer. I'm not going to take a step back. Get in the middle of the square.
Misa slithers up here a bit, looks, sees the boar, and then thinks better and steps back a bit. Cat.
So I can see the edge of the token, about maybe the top quarter of it. Do I have a clear shot, or do I need to move to shoot without cover?
So you have a shot at it, but it would grant cover to it. If you if you ever wondered whether or not something gets cover, if you're aiming through any kind of physical obstruction, or if you don't have a great line of sight on it, then it's going to get cover.
Yeah, then I will move. I'll pop out. Oh, that's not the right tool. Please. There we go. That's a lot better. So, is it looking in my direction, or is it looking at the people who just shot at it already?
It is looking towards the west, but you're not actively stealth or anything at the moment, so you would not gain any kind of advantage. So it is aware that there is a threat.
Okay, I will just take a generic shot then.
And keep in mind, being a rogue, with your level, you could always choose, if you wanted to bonus action attempt to hide. If it doesn't notice you, now you would get the benefits of being hidden from it.
I would like to do that.
Okay, perfect. So go ahead and give me a blind check, and this represents you're trying to be very quiet and stealthy here. All right, yes, you succeed. It has no idea that you're there, so you can now attack it at advantage.
We'll attack it at advantage then. With my crossbow, of course.
Your bolt does indeed connect. Go ahead and post damage with sneak.
Let me make sure sneak is checked. What happened to my sheet? God damn it. It's probably checked. Yeah, there we go.
All right, the bolt strikes right into the giant boar, and you hear a loud squeal in response.
Cool. And then I will pop back around the tree in a place where I don't think it can see me. I obviously can't hide again because I already used my bonus action, but I'm just trying to get cover from its line of sight.
Sure, yeah, that works. All right, the boar is indeed surprised, so it does not get a turn this round, so we move to Talhoun.
All right, I'm gonna move up. I get 30 feet. I am going to yell to my group. There's another one! And I'm gonna swing my +1 greatsword.
All right, you step up, chopping down at this giant boar. Yes, that will connect solidly as you hack into this massive beast.
Only I had advantage. So that does hit.
It does,
So, bam. I'm gonna burn first level spell slot on Smite.
yes. Okay, you burn a smite in order to deal some additional radiant damage to the creature. Go ahead and burn that. All right, blade cuts down severely. This giant boar looks near death.
32 points of damage, guys.
Bad.
Right. Yeah. I'm like I said. I yelled to my party about there's another boar.
Yes. All right. Yes, the other boar that you're referring to also had no idea you were there, so it is surprised. Move to Bryn's turn.
Alright. I think Bryn is... Sorry. Reading on the laptop. She'll try and she'll step up. And try and hurl another javelin at it and finish it off.
All right, you move a bit closer, grab another javelin from your pack at the back, and throw it towards the giant boar. Go ahead and make your attack. That certainly connects. Go ahead and roll a piercing crit. Twice maximum damage of your dice. Oof. Okay, I don't think it's going to survive that, so I'm going to go ahead and just click your javelin here. I'm pretty sure that's going to do it in. All right, so yes, that is going to do it in. So your javelin pretty much goes like right towards it, and you see it opening in its mouth, and it's just starting to realize what's going on. Your javelin goes through its mouth and actually comes out its backside, putting a hole right through the giant boar as it collapses to the ground. Next up is Reggie.
Alright, so I didn't see any boar, which is good, because that means nobody got hurt, so my spell doesn't go off, but I'm going to move up
Right,
to
but you
here.
already cast it to use the spell, so essentially that energy is just wasted.
Yeah, no worries. Yo comprende. Alright, so I'm going to move here. That's my speed. I'm going to interact with the object and draw my quarterstaff, and then I'm going to use my action to cast Chalet, or bonus action to cast Chalet, and
Okay.
my action to dodge for now.
All right, you take a defensive position with your magically enhanced quarterstaff. Okay, we move to Kertu's turn.
I heard a big shriek. I bet it's dead.
Alright, I don't see the other boar, so I'm going to take a ready action that if I see a boar run into the way there, I'm going to go ahead and shoot it with a firebolt.
Okay, you ready a firebolt if you see an enemy. Okay, Finnegan's turn.
Come on, Miza. 5, 10, 15. Where are they? Where is it, guys?
I'm gonna point around the corner.
Can you use a pointer so I can see you?
He is physically pointing to his east.
Okay, thank you. That's 15, 20, 25. This looks good. I'm going to ready my firebolt as a ready action for ready firebolt if I see the boar. How about that?
All right, ready to action. Miza follows up a bit behind you and sort of gets the same idea, and you see her kind of whip up a bit of hand in her pouch here. And move to Cat.
Will bonus action hide again? I don't know if I can hide from something. I don't know where it is, though.
You sure can. Yeah, I know it's kind of weird,
Okay.
but you can. Yeah, throw me a
I will
blind check.
Go for
Okay.
that.
So again, you won't know whether or not you're hidden, but you feel hidden.
That's true. And then I will peek around the corner here. 10. And then since I see the party, I want to kind of like prop myself up against a tree, peering around the side of it. And if I see the other boar coming at the party instead of like running away, then I'll take my shot. So already a shot for that.
Okay. All right, and this guy has been slain, so we move to Talhoon's turn.
All right, I'm gonna. Actually, I think I'm gonna do one of these things. Is this boar's corpse too like? Is it so big that it like provides cover?
I mean, if you get down prone, I would say yes, but just lying on its side, no.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna throw a javelin.
All right, so currently great sword in hand, so you just take one hand off of that, reach back, grab a javelin, and throw it. Yeah, go ahead and make an attack. Your javelin does indeed connect. Go ahead and post damage. Alrighty, that javelin hits into the boar, and you see it begins to have a trickle of blood come through its thick, matted fur.
Okay, and then I guess I've got its attention, so I'm gonna move 10 feet back here, and brace for impact.
All right, you might be surprised to see the boar actually moves a bit around here. It's going to get to this point. Kertu, I believe your ready to action would go because you can now see it. Yes, your firebolt does indeed connect.
And as he does, he yells,
Cook already!
As the creature is singed a bit, you see it moving very quickly towards you. Once it gets to here, Finn, do you want to take your attack? Again, it will have cover based on your line of fire. That'll still hit. All right, yes, that firebolt will connect, singeing it in its face. All right, then it continues moving forth, and as it gets to here,
See half of it now.
you can see part of it. You can certainly take a shot. It will get a little bit of cover benefit here.
I will take my shot. I don't know if I am still hidden, so I'll just roll it and we can ignore the damage if it. We can ignore. Well, I guess I get sneak attack because it's next to my guys, right?
Yep, and actually you are hidden, so this will be at advantage, but with cover, that'll still hit. All right, yes, bolt punctures into the giant boar, wounding it as it hits it right in its flanks. The giant boar then smashes into Kertu, or attempts to do so. Kertu, give me a defense roll, please. It does indeed smash into you solidly, Kertu. You are going to suffer 12 points of slashing damage plus an additional 9 slashing damage as it charges into you for a total of 21 points of damage as this giant boar hits you with a solid impact. Move next to Bryn.
Alright, she's gonna see that. And roll up right here. Try and hit it with her greatsword.
Great sword. Okay, so you put another hand on that great sword and swing down at the creature, which connects. No rage yet, so we won't take that. But yes, 5 slashing damage as you cut into the body of the boar. Reggie's turn. It is right up next to you at the moment, Reggie.
Okie dokie. I'm assuming I can still move that way, right? I mean, the tree line's there, but I can still maneuver there, right?
Yeah, you're just kind of pushing a little bit into the edge of the branch, but you could, yep.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna just wrap around to here. That should be perfect. And I'm gonna bring down my staff. And I was in the shadow, so it was hard to see it at first, but as he brings it into the sunlight, you can now see that the wood is like extra thick and like wrapped around his hand, kind of like the hilt of a fancy rapier, and he's gonna bring it on top of the boar's head. Extra thick.
You smack out towards it, thinking you're about to miss, but that momentary gap in his defenses provided by Bryn allows you to connect.
All right, and I am going to draw back and take a deep breath, and I'm going to push out like a very slow mist with my breath towards Kertu and give him a quick little healing word.
All right, go ahead and post your damage on that shillelagh for me as well.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, you smack into the boar solidly. Okay, Kertu just got throttled, then a little bit of healing there from Reggie. What would you like to do?
Dang. Adam, I can't see his bar. How wounded does this guy look?
He looks very badly hurt.
Okay, I'm gonna be stupid. I know that he's right next to me and everything, so I understand this will be at disadvantage, but I'm gonna go for it anyway. I'm gonna be like,
Haha, now it's my turn.
Oof. Roll a fumble.
Just leaves the Discord.
He just quit?
No, he's back.
I couldn't hear. I saw Adam talk, and I know there was, classic. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it is what it is. Alright, so I'm going to do a fumble.
Yep, spell fumble. Hopefully it's nothing too bad. Okay, not too bad. So as you're pulling some things around in your component pouch, you move stuff around in a bad position and they temporarily stop working. So you're going to not be able to perform material components to cast spells until the end of your next turn.
But it's okay. It's okay. I got friends, I hope.
Finn.
5, 10 here. Nice clean shot. I'm going to flip out my Zippo and firebolt.
Yes, Firebolt does indeed connect. It scorches the boar, and you are so confident this thing is going to die, but instead, its eyes go red bloodshot as it becomes enraged.
I really pissed him off in that one. So 5, 10, 15,
Enraged
20,
timer.
25. Miser, get away! I'm gonna run there.
And hearing you say that, she goes, yeah, okay. And she backs away behind the tree. As we move to Cat's turn.
Okay, I will use. I think I will just take my bonus action for steady aim, so I'll stay put and shoot at advantage.
All right, you line up a really line shot here. That does indeed connect.
With
And
snakes.
yes,
or
this is enough as the bolt goes right into the boar's head and it collapses to the ground. All right, guys, you guys have managed to defeat these 2 giant boars and we are out of combat.
Take that.
That's a lot of food.
Oh my god, you look wonderful. You guys are great hunters. Oh man, look at this. Look at the tusks on this guy.
Adam, I'm going to go up to the boar that decided to, step on my face, and I'm going to start trying to pull out a tooth or something with my knife.
Sure, yeah, you spend a bit of time here trying to extract a tooth. Yeah, you could probably do that after maybe 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, he's just catching a trophy, So.
Fair enough, yeah.
Has anyone prepared a carcass like this before?
I only cook it.
I mean, I have done hunting as part of my training.
I'm sure Bryn has eaten a lot of boars. You look, like you eat a lot of boars.
Yes, in my world, they are called something different, but I can fix this up for you, Finn.
Excellent.
All right, so it sounds like Bryn would like to spend some time here trying to field dress the giant boars and extract some cookable meat.
I'll
Yes.
assist her. I'll be more of like you tell me what to do and I'll do it for you while you need it, kind of thing.
Okay, pair of helping hands, sure. Yeah, so you get up next to the boar there, Reggie, and assist Bryn as she's, I imagine, using probably some kind of a blade here. Greatsword would probably be too large for this, but if you have a dagger or a smaller knife or something like that to try to begin to skin the beast, you could certainly do that. This will obviously take you a bit of time, so as both Bryn and Reggie are involved in this process, what is the rest of the group doing?
While they're doing that, maybe we can check out the tower, get a little closer, see what's going on over here.
I don't even see the tower.
I go with you to the tower.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Cat as well.
All right, Kat, as you get a bit closer here, you notice a large downed tree that obviously would serve as a bit of an obstruction had you guys come from the other direction, but the way you guys came, you could avoid it completely.
Obstruction as in, manually placed here to be a barrier.
No, you don't get that impression. It just looks like it was a natural woodfall, but it would have been potentially like difficult terrain, made it a little bit more challenging to get across, that sort of thing.
Okay, and we said the ladder was on the west side?
That is the ladder that you're seeing there, yes.
Alright, still keeping an eye out for anything on the ground or any snares from the trees, bushes, whatever this is near. I'll approach the tower and see what I see.
Yes, it does indeed look a bit rickety here. Not where you think it's just going to immediately collapse should you touch it, but it's definitely seen better days. You can see this ladder leads up about 20 feet, and you can see that there is sort of a flat area up there that you presume you would just climb up and step on.
Can I approach the ladder, test the weight a little bit, like not commit to climbing all the way up, but see if it'll hold me?
Sure, yeah. So maybe test a rung or two near the bottom, kind of put a good amount of weight on it, see if it holds, and yes, it holds.
I will carefully start ascending the ladder. Trying to be quiet if... I know we didn't see anything up there. Actually, no, we would have... Fighting the boars, they definitely would have been tipped off if there was anyone up here, so...
Not a deaf person, but, you know, anyone with ears.
Sure.
So it sounds like you pretty much are just climbing up carefully.
I still want to be careful and, like, peer over to make sure I'm not going to get shot in the face with, like, a crossbow as I mount it, but yeah, I'll climb it up.
You climb up to the top and peer into this area, and you can see that there's this fairly narrow wooden platform here that's sort of surrounded by this wooden wall. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot up here at first glance, but in the northeast corner, you do notice that there's a piece of parchment tacked into the lumber with like a large nail.
I will, again, carefully, gingerly test my weight on the platform up here to make sure it's not going to collapse on me.
Give
And
me
then-
a blind check here. You don't think so?
Okay, so I will start making my way. My token is not moving.
Oh, you're probably like right on one of those lines, so if I move you here, that's roughly where you want to go?
Sure, I'll go up to the parchment and see if I can even read it. I'll see what's on it.
Yeah, it's kind of folded and a little bit weathered here as it is pounded into the lumber, but you reach a hand over and kind of flatten it out, and you notice written in a large hand, though the writing is quite pristine, it's quite clear, you see it looks to be a recipe. You can see it's entitled Sizzling Beef.
Interesting. I'll take it down if I can without, like, destroying it.
Sure, yeah, so you basically extract that nail itself, kind of just pulling that out and get the piece of parchment from it, and this is what it shows.
It has a picture on it.
A handwritten gesture picture, probably not nearly as good as what you're seeing there, though.
It's pretty good art. Not gonna lie. Yeah, if there's nothing else up here, can I just take a quick glance around to make sure I don't miss anything? If it's just this, I'll bring it back down to where Finn is when we get to that point.
Based on a quick look, meeting passive perception, you see nothing else of interest here.
I see nothing else of interest, so I will come down with
Okay.
the recipe in hand.
Hey, can you see if there's like a tower or any smoke or anything, like out amongst the trees? Maybe point us in the direction of the lodge?
That's a good idea. I'll look around. The tower's like 20-ish feet tall. I'll start peering over, see if I can see anything. Or am I like above the tree line, or is it just
Some
like
of them, but
pointless?
not all of them for sure. It doesn't go across everything. I would say probably within the 100 feet or so, you're at the high point, so you're kind of looking around, and you can see very decent in this area. You definitely notice some what look to be large piles of boar dung based on what you had spotted before, and then having just discovered these giant boars, you're pretty confident that's what these are. But the rest of the area looks to be just standard forest, nothing out of the ordinary, nothing of interest. As you're looking, you can see the river is northeast of you and northwest, continues traveling for quite a distance. You don't see anything that you would presume to be Falcon's hunting lodge.
Still too far away from our goal. And I'll come back down. I think I'm getting stuck on the elevation changes. What's happening?
Yep, no worry. So you climb back down the ladder and find yourself back on the ground level.
Alright, I will bring the recipe to Finn, and then I'll just tell the party, we need to keep following the river. I don't see... We're still too far away from the lodge to spot it from there.
All All right, as you share this recipe parchment over with Finn and the rest of the group that can obviously look on if they wish, I'll just go ahead and share this with everyone.
That's good.
All right, well, let's see here.
Looks raw.
I wonder if I could replace sizzling beef with sizzling boar. Let's see, 2 portions, salt, okay, beef, okay, spreading evenly, okay, tenderized, oh yeah, of course, well, you'd tenderize a large fork, you'd use a tenderizer, okay, anyway, and he's just studying this.
Curious that we would find a recipe in a tower and nothing else.
It says there at the bottom, it says substitutions. Pork for beef. It also says giant fire beetle gland for flame lily. Adam,
Where are you
have I
getting
ever
the flame lily, Victor?
Oh, Cayenne.
heard-
I was just getting ready to type that.
Have I ever heard of a flame lily, Adam? In my
Give me a
research of
blind
different
nature
plants?
check. Yes, you have heard of flame lilies. They are named after the red and orange 7-leafed flowers whose petals point skywards as opposed to the downwards facing stems resembling a flame. When used carefully, these flowers can be used for curative concoctions, but high doses are deadly. You know, they tend to be found in desert or savanna terrains.
Cool. But I also know the name of it, so if we go to like a shop or something, you know, that sells spices, we could see if they've already got some.
You sure could, yep.
What about this giant fire beetle gland?
I would assume it's a probably similar territory for the fire beetles. I mean, a fire beetle in a forest seems like a bad idea, you know?
Yes. Was there any supplies up there? I mean, it's strange. Was there like a cooking pot or an oven?
It's just an empty platform with the recipe pinned to the wall.
That is quite strange, isn't it? Guys, like, there's not even a kitchen.
Yeah, that is odd. What is the significance of this recipe just being stapled to the wall?
So, Adam, have I heard of this as a working in Amphel at the Tiglo Tavern?
This particular dish?
Yeah.
Give me a blind check. I think this one might be a bit challenging, but we'll see how well you do. So I would say you are familiar with what is known as signature dishes, where certain people sort of find an interesting recipe or find ways of using interesting ingredients to enhance the way cooking works with raw materials, meat, vegetables, that sort of thing. You get the impression that this might be a signature dish and put together might have some interesting effects.
Yeah, this is quite specific. I've never heard of this. This must be a very special recipe. I better hold on to it. Can I have it, Kat?
Obviously, you're the cook. You're the
Oh,
chef.
excellent. Thank you.
I thought you might like it. How is the dressing coming?
Bryn is quite efficient with her hand axe.
And yeah, Bryn, go ahead and give me a blind check to represent your efforts here of field dressing the boars. Again, this is a very massive amount of meat, so I'm not sure how much you're looking to acquire here, but I would say after spending 10 minutes or so, you have the first giant boar mostly skinned, peeled back to the point where you can kind of start hacking just slabs or chunks of meat off, but all of you would know pretty quickly that without some decent way of preserving this meat, it would not last a really long time. In these day and age, short of magic, you're mostly looking at salt would be your main preservative.
And I imagine Bryn just kind of hacking away at it with her hand axe, kind of savagely.
Yeah, I like based on the size of these, like this would probably feed, a small village for a meal.
Oh, for sure. I think one of them is fine for us, and it could spoil, but we don't need both of them unless we want the tusks or the furs.
Hunter did say he wanted pieces of animals, but I'm not sure how rare or valuable some wild boar is. It's probably not.
Well, pelts and furs will always be valuable, especially of this size. I think we should take it. Maybe let them dry out next time we rest. Speaking of which, Kertu, are you okay?
I've had better days. That's for yep. But I'm fine for now. We'll be fine once I eat something.
Yeah, if in a short rest I can cook you up something special to give you those nice little bonus.
Yep, that's nice. Cooking's fine. That's not bad. But I mean, once Brent gets out of the way with the axe, I might just have at something. You never know.
Oh yeah, raw. That's disgusting. Ugh.
Have you tried it?
Of course, I've tried everything, and it's far better when it's properly seasoned.
Okay. Don't know what you're missing.
Alright, as you guys look at the two large corpses here, if anybody wants to extract like a skin or a tooth, I would say you realize pretty quickly that the best tool for this purpose would be actually leather workers' tools. Does anybody happen to have a set of those?
I have a great sword.
So you realize that if you attempt to do this to procure something of value rather than just a trophy, right? Like you could obviously just get a trophy. It's not really going to have any kind of value to it other than sentimental. But if you're trying to extract something of value, leatherworkers' tools would be best. Any other efforts without those, essentially checks would be made at disadvantage.
Yep. Yeah, that was jokes. However, would a knife that comes with
You could try. Yeah, I mean, again, you could try. Just would be at disadvantage.
Yeah, I'm good.
Hey, Miza, since we're just waiting around, why don't you help me look around the area for some herbs or spices, or maybe this flame lily thing?
You see, she looks around and says, "Oh, didn't he say that's mostly found in the desert?"
Oh, well, yeah, forget that. Then maybe like some lavender or maybe some rosemary, wild rosemary.
Okay, yes, I'll see what I can find. And you see she starts poking around. Is it you guys' intention to spend a significant amount of time here?
Well, since I wasn't skinning the animal, that's kind of what I would be doing, I guess. But yeah, I think we wanted to skin them both and get the furs and all that, right, guys?
I mean,
Yeah,
nobody's oh, go ahead. I was just gonna say nobody's really efficient in it, so anybody who tries, I think all of us will be at disadvantage with it.
I think it's a good hour for both of them.
Might as well try, though.
If we all use the help action on each other.
Unfortunately, this one falls under nature, so you would need to have two people that are proficient in nature in order to help to give the advantage, which would cancel out the disadvantage. Do we happen to have two people that both have nature proficiency?
I do. Finn does.
So that's one, I heard, right? So I think just the one then. Okay, so yeah, if whoever wants to take the check, like I say, it's nature. It would be essentially it's a nature skill to identify which parts to harvest that would give you the most value. So Finn, you're not sure. As you look at these two bodies and you obviously see the tusks, the fur, you're not really sure which of these, which part of these would give you the most value. So mechanically, you can still try to extract something, but basically you're not going to get the choicest parts, if you get my drift.
See why I wanted to get out and adventuring? I mean, usually the food's delivered to me. I wish I was better at this.
Only one way to get better, I suppose.
That's true.
You will be.
I don't know, take this bit, and I think this is the flank here, and this is the rump. Yeah, well, that's okay. But get the flank, and right atop of the tailbone, right along the back, that's the fillet part. Get that nice little fatty part. Yes, yeah, right there, right there.
So it sounds like, Finn, you're mostly focused on the meats in particular, right? So you're just trying to get food, like stuff to cook.
Yes.
Fair enough. Okay. Okay, so mechanically, I'm guessing you guys are looking to get a short rest here, and you're wanting to spend a bit of time both in dicing these corpses up and then trying to get anything from them as that you think might be of value.
Yeah, and I was looking around with Misa for like wild rosemary or anything, herbs and spices or onions.
All right, so you guys spend one of your short rests for the day, so I'll go ahead and mark that.
If we're doing that, I'd like to get back in the tower and just keep a lookout, because it gives us a pretty good vantage point, and just kind of... We said it was like half walled in, so I should have a little bit of cover up there.
You would indeed, yes. And remember our house rule here for short rest, so you would all get your HP back. That will use one of your short rests for the day. So you'll spend that time up top. Cat, Finn, you can go ahead and give me a blind check to represent your efforts of looking around for any kind of plant material here. If somebody is particularly looking to get pieces from these giant boars that they think would be of value, whether that's tusks or fur, you can one of you can go ahead and make a nature check to represent your efforts here, as no one has the leather workers tools. Like I say, this will be at disadvantage. Finn, you don't find much in the way of any kind of edible plant material around here. You find a lot of, obviously, greenery and bushes, that kind of thing, but no kind of herbs or any kind of material you think would be helpful in cooking. Reggie, you spend a bit of time here looking over one of these bodies and trying to the best you can to sort of hack some stuff out. Your first thought is, oh, maybe we'll try to get one of these tusks. And as you're trying to extract the tusk, you actually break it so that it shatters and has really rough edges. You don't think this is going to have any value whatsoever. Bryn, you working on the other one, attempt to extract some of this fur. You realize that you kind of hacked away more strongly at the meat to get to the meat, not necessarily focused on making sure that the skin or the fur of this creature would be held up the best. And as you look at these two bodies, you realize that there is a lot of holes and otherwise unfortunate cuts in them. You don't think this fur either would have much in the way of value.
So, what are we going to do with all of this meat here? I mean, are we going to wrap it up and take it with us?
Well, I could wrap something up for Kertu. You like it raw, right, Kertu?
Oh, I can do both. I mean, I'm not too picky. I just don't like it overcooked, and I can't eat it raw. And as a matter of fact, I have been sneaking some already.
Oh, well, I have the special spices from my cook utensils I could use and try to give it a little treat for you.
Of course, especially since I've already used my temporary hit points that boar decided to ram into me. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyone else need something special snack?
Well, question: do you happen to have copious amounts of salt?
No, salt. I have only like seasoning, so we think of like a salt shaker. Not enough to preserve meat.
Oh, that's a shame.
I imagine it says spices in my cook's utensil. I imagine it's probably just like little salt shakers and pepper, maybe.
Yeah, certainly not enough, right? Just like you said, yeah.
And how long do we have before this meat goes bad? Should we plan on using it today, or?
I don't know. We should probably check on that. How long do you
week.
think?
I think it's like a week.
Before meat goes bad? Oh, that's Kertu saying that.
That's
though.
Kertu saying that, so who knows, right?
Take that with more salt than you need to preserve the boar.
God, I would think 2 days if it's not preserved.
Yeah, probably 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, depending.
You got to cut off the stuff, and there's plenty of it. So
so why don't we make a rotisserie the next time we go camping? I mean, it's a big boar. Never mind, a lot to carry.
But yeah, I suppose we'll carry what we can. It kind of sucks that all of this is going to waste, but
It never goes to waste. There's always animals, and maybe we find a caravan on the road, or somebody wants some meat. We can trade it for gold or whatever.
Birds incoming. We should probably be careful. It looks like... How big are they, Adam? Can I
From
tell?
this distance, it's hard to gauge an exact size. Big, I think, is what you would take away from it, though.
Vultures?
Large birds. I'm gonna come down from the tower and kind of like get into the tree line and keep a weather eye on the horizon with my crossbow drawn, just in case they like come at us.
Well, they probably smell our carcasses.
They're probably interested in the carcasses, so we should take what we need and go.
So I'll make one special food for Kertu during this short rest. I'm going to take a piece of the raw meat that's right by the back strap there and cook it up in a little morsel. I'm going to wrap it up in some basil leaf. I don't know, one basil leaf I have in my cooked utensils, and put some salt and pepper on it and say, this should work. Have this, Kertu. I call it boar tartare. A basil boar tartare.
I call it gone.
That's 1d8.
Okay, so these birds. Do I see them, Adam?
You do not.
Do we even hear Cat yell that?
I presume.
I
yes.
would have shouted it down from the tower, and they would have seen me come down and like hide in the trees.
Okay.
Should we get to the river and keep going where we need to go?
We should probably move on. They're almost certainly more interested in the boars than they are in us, so...
Well, it's more meat.
Unless you want to hang out and fight them, I suppose, but we already have more than we can carry.
Isn't the river this way, guys? Like, this is where we need to go?
Yeah, I think we back off. I think we've had enough fighting for the moment.
Yeah, let's just go to the river. Come on.
Yep, I'm with Cat. I'm gonna start moving.
All right, sounds like you guys back off from this area and get closer back towards the river.
I don't want to get carried off by something.
Okay, as you guys get to the river, are you continuing to push eastward along the river according to those instructions from the innkeeper?
I don't see why not.
Mm-hmm.
The plan, I think.
All right, you guys start walking, keeping close to the water. Again, you're walking through the forest, but right at the edge of the water. Some areas there's a gap between the river to the forest of 10, 15, even 20 feet. Other times the trees actually grow almost right up against the edge of the water. Occasionally you even notice a couple like stumps or more like roots actually in the river itself. So you're having to navigate around this area. As you're making your way out and walk for maybe 10 minutes or so, you definitely see those large birds now off in the distance as they are flying right towards the location of where you guys just left. So it seems as though your guess was correct. You continue pushing on along the river here, getting closer and closer. Eventually, you notice as you're walking along the river here, to your southeast, there seems to be a bit of a clearing along the river's edge here. You can see that right along this clearing, there is a lot more downed trees, clear evidence of logging in this section.
It's a hunting lodge, not a logging camp.
Well, that's what they said was Falcon's hunting lodge.
Well, you have to cut down trees to make a lodge.
It could be nearby.
Is there a trail?
So right along the water's edge, you can see that the again, this clearing is fairly large. It goes for 100 or so feet, maybe a bit more than that. You watch along the water as the edge of the river kind of twists and turns a bit. You can certainly get closer to this clearing, but this is just what you're spotting from a distance.
Okay, okay.
Evidence of civilization. It might be okay to pass through.
Yeah, I concur.
Okay, so it sounds like you want to just push on and get closer to the clearing?
Yeah.
All right, so as you're following along the edge of the river here, getting closer, you notice that there is a bit of an embankment that sort of leads up and a little bit away from the river. Not very far, maybe 10, 15 feet, something along those lines, but the elevation sort of continues, or there is a narrow piece of dry land between this embankment and the water. which path would you like to take? Right alongside the river, or actually climb up along the embankment?
Does it look easy enough to climb up in the embankment, or are we gonna have to, like?
It looks pretty easy.
Wait,
I see.
Kertu, can you look for footprints and wild boar tracks or something?
I can always look.
I would prefer the high ground myself.
I would too if I could ever reach it.
Okay, so there's a suggestion for Kertu to look around for tracks. I heard one suggestion for high ground. What's the group thinking?
I think if there's, from what I'm gathering here, I think that if there's nothing suspicious about walking along the embankment, getting to high ground, then we're doing it.
So it sounds like high ground was what you just proposed there, Talhoun?
Correct.
Yes, I agree. Let's go to the high ground.
Okay, fair enough. Hearing that suggestion and not any dissenting voices, I will assume you guys take the high ground. So you make your way up through this high ground area. It does bend a bit further away from the river. It's still fairly close to you, but just getting, based on this embankment, it's getting a little bit farther from you. I'm going to go ahead and slide you guys into a different map to show what you can see, which includes, as you're getting closer into this structure now, the ruins of some buildings, sort of like some foundation edges, an actual standing building a distance away, and you can actually spot a dock that goes out into the water from here.
So these are the ruins down here.
Yes.
My color is exactly the same as the grass.
And this looks like does this look like a building that's intact, or does it look?
It is, yes.
Does it look crude?
No, it looks, actually, I would say it looks relatively new.
And I point towards it. Maybe that's Falcon.
Yeah, you think that's the lodge?
Perhaps.
I think I'll be the grumpy old man here and say I just don't think so. I mean, they said a hunting lodge where he would be hired by nobles to go and hunt in the local woods. This looks too organized for a veteran of many wars. He probably just wants some peace and quiet.
Or perhaps he came to some village ruins.
Maybe he doesn't want to take nobles to a trampy little house.
But from where I'm standing, do these ruins look like they've been around a long time, or is this like recent destruction?
I would say rough
I can
guess.
get closer if I need to.
Yeah, I would say rough guess that they look like they've been torn down somewhat recently.
Looks recent, guys. Maybe we should be more cautious than we initially thought.
Well, remember, we're looking for the hunting lodge. That's what we're here for.
Sure, but if this was recently raised, whatever did it could still be in the area. So if we're passing through, we need to be cautious of whether it was orcs or something else. I don't know, but
Okay.
This descends, right? Yeah.
It does, yes.
Okay.
is there anything like in the ruins, or is it like picked over? Are these just like broken beams and stuff, or?
Hey, are
Give
those
me-
tents?
Give me a blind check as you investigate the area. Nothing of interest or value that you can find here, mostly just broken beams, much like you said, and it looks like the fireplace is still intact but damaged.
Was it the?
Guys,
Is it?
there's
Oh, we
tents.
said never mind.
There's tents down here.
So does it look like as if it was? Yeah. I see the tents, Finn.
Oh, okay.
Adam, does this look like it's been like destroyed, or
Yeah, certainly
particularly?
destroyed.
Well, I mean, like, was it deconstructed or destroyed?
You see a lot of rubble and broken pieces of wood here that would imply to you that this was not some type of a careful organizational takedown of the building and a conservation of the resources therein.
Okay. Good answer.
Footprints around like the barrier, like outside of. I mean, well, I'm assuming we'd probably see boot prints or human prints, or I mean, anything similar to that. But maybe what caused it, like are they larger than normal or something along those lines?
Give me a blind check for survival. No, you do find some what you would assume to be boot prints, much like you said. You get the impression that humanoid-ish figures have certainly walked around this area somewhat recently, last few days, even more recently perhaps, but you don't notice anything else that is out of the ordinary.
Kind of look up at Talhoun and I say, seems kind of fishy to me.
Do the footprints look as if they're the same person?
Maybe a couple of people.
It's a logging camp. They might be workers, or they might be whatever ransacked this place. It's probably not possible to tell.
And Talhoun mentions the dragon that we encountered.
Doesn't
There
look
might be
burned.
more ice in the area if it was the dragon.
Yeah,
That's right.
Perhaps the orcs. Maybe we should investigate that hut.
What about the manticore? I mean, it would fly, so.
The manticore barely was able to topple a small tower.
More than one?
It's also only been a few days. It's probably recuperating still.
But what's very curious is that beautiful looking building that's down there that we saw that looks perfectly well intact. Somebody is living here.
We should probably check out the standing building, see if anyone's still around or if this place is abandoned.
Agreed. And I look over at Finn and do we have any of the bacon left to present as a gift?
We have plenty of food. Yeah, we have fresh meat.
Very well. And I guess I'll start making my way down. You are going? Oh, okay.
Do we see any smoke from the fire pits we're seeing?
You do not. It is quiet.
Like normal nature quiet or too quiet?
Normal nature quiet. Alright, as you get a bit closer to that building, Talhoun and Bryn, you notice that there is a window on the south wall and a door on the east wall.
Yep, I'm gonna walk up and look through the window.
Alright, you step up and peer through the window. Inside, this looks to be some type of an office, perhaps.
I don't see anything, Bryn.
You notice a lot of clutter in this room, mostly what you presume to be saws, some harnesses, and various tools.
Does it look lived in?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, should we knock on the front door?
We don't have any
I just.
objections.
Kind of. I just feel like knocking is not. I mean, there's another ruined building right here. Somebody could be watching us. Adam, is there a way that I could maybe get the sense of if we're like walking into a trap or an ambush or something?
Unfortunately, there's no skill that would detect that short of like some observable, perceivable circumstances. So you as a player may have a hunch that you're walking into a trap. I would say feel free to do with that what you will. If you feel that way, then you can act that way. But there's no skill that can confirm that for you at this point, as nothing has occurred and there's nothing, obvious or perceivable at this point that would give you that impression.
Just every 6 seconds, I'm just gonna dodge.
And unfortunately, not outside of combat, but yeah, I get your mental space at the moment.
Perhaps just weapons at the ready then, in case anything happens.
Could I use a charge of Divine Sense?
You could, yeah. I believe we've got that built in for you. If not, just go ahead and post it and then reduce one. You look around in a 60-foot area here for any presences of celestial fiends or undead. You do not detect any.
No Count Strahd von Zarevich, I guess.
He is not here at the moment.
That's good. I have not so fond memories.
Us either. This cart here, Adam, is it full of supplies?
You see it does have a barrel in it and what looks to be a crate.
No horses attached?
None. Nope.
Can I cautiously make my way around to where the horses would be attached? Are like the straps broken, or does it seem just like abandoned?
The size of this cart gives you the impression this is more of like a hand-drawn cart, so you don't think that horses would normally be used in this capacity. It's more or less allows a human individual-sized person to move more weight, using wheels and so forth.
Can I look down at the ground where it was dropped? Does it look like he or she scurried away in a hurry?
Give me a blind check as you look at the ground for any signs of distress here, that anything would stick out to you. No, not that you can tell.
Are there any footprints on the ground?
I would say all of you can certainly see footprints, particularly in the dirt or the sandier areas near the water. The overall impression you're getting is that this is a lumber camp, so again, nothing of that strikes you as odd.
Except for the lack of people.
Hey, from this distance, what are the condition of the tents? It's a little bit away, but it's not like torn apart or anything, or
No,
are they?
They look to be in good shape.
Why would they just leave this place? The tents look fine.
Maybe something spooked them? Maybe Talhun is right. Maybe they did see the dragon, but the dragon just didn't attack.
What's in this barrel?
Hop up there. I'll keep an eye.
Okay.
Check that crate too.
I come up
As
here.
you tap on the barrel, Fen, you hear the sound of liquid inside.
Huh. So I actually do I just started doing like white whiskey barrel restorations or whatever, like painting them and stuff. And it's called a bunghole actually, which is that.
No, sadly,
okay, yeah.
I'm familiar, yes.
Can I pop that up and smell it?
Sure, yeah. So essentially you're trying to access the liquid inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you work out and pop out I'll use the word cork just to make it a little bit more PC friendly. But yes, or the stopper. And yeah, looking inside, there is no strong smell to it. So you get the impression that this is more or less water and not an alcohol.
Yeah, fresh water here. Is there a crate up here too, Adam?
There is, yes.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna look at the crate.
Yep, you can see that the lid of the crate looks like it is softly tacked on as though it's held in place by nails, but you get the impression that they are just barely in there, and this is probably frequently opened.
Yeah, I'll open it.
Yep, as you do so, you can see a variety of tools inside. You see some saws, some small hammers. Looks to be logging equipment.
Leatherworking tools?
No leatherworking tools, unfortunately.
Damn.
I'm gonna jump off. Just their equipment. And I put my hands on my hips. Wonder what happened to everyone around here.
He clearly left in a hurry, which probably means there was some sort of danger. Whether or not it's still here, I don't know. But there is the one building still standing is probably our only lead, I would think. Maybe we should knock on the door, see if anyone's still here.
Finders keepers, it's ours now.
Yeah, why knock? Why don't we just see if it's open?
Because if 6 armed strangers walk in and someone is in there, they might react poorly.
Not to mention, this could be someone's domicile. Someone's home.
Yeah, and
So-
here's my thing. If somebody's inside, then that means they let everyone else run away in terror, and they hid.
Or everyone's hiding inside. Let's go.
I guess that's true.
That is an ambient effect. I thought it was raining here.
Maybe they're in the basement. Let's go check it out.
There's no boat at the dock, so I don't know, guys. I'm just saying. My turtle sense is tingling.
Well,
We'll let
until
Calhoun lead, so in case anything happens, it happens to him.
Okay. Leave it to the big, strong warrior, and I walk up and I just bam, 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 bam. Knock
You
on the door.
knock on the door.
Correct.
You knock on the door and hear silence in response.
Now we can go inside.
Yep.
The social custom has been observed.
remember, we're always safe until we see the token's lock sign. We're good.
I swear, some of these doors look like they only open if you're right on top of them. So yeah, there you go.
I wasn't sure if it was a token action. I just hit the hotkey. I apologize. Still looks like a lived-in office.
Yes, it does. And like I say, you notice a lot of these different tools around this area.
Is there any skinning knives?
You don't see anything that you would call a skinning knife, but you sort of see some different bladed instruments. But you see some that look probably more specifically used to strip bark off of trees. You can see some sharpening devices, that sort of thing.
I guess I'll beckon my friends.
I assume this is just a stack of wood up here.
That is
Nothing
correct,
interesting about
yes.
it.
Is that a deck that's dashed out?
That is representing that there is a shelter there. So where you're seeing that dotted line, think of that as higher elevation, and the corner posts are what's supporting the shelter.
Okay, so there's a roof up there. Is there any stairs inside?
Well, don't think of it as a roof. Think of it like an awning. Think of it like that.
Okay.
All right, Calhoun, as you step to here, Bryn, you notice in terror as the beams right underneath your feet suddenly shatter forth as you are thrown backwards. Bryn, dexterity saving throw, please.
Ah! Do you want me to do a blind check at him?
Nope, just dexterity save. You can roll that publicly.
Okay.
All right, you manage to nimbly hop backwards before anything too bad can happen with the splintering wood underneath. So I'm going to ask you guys to hold on one moment. I'm going to unlock just so I can get Bryn in the correct spot. Then I'll relock just so I can explain this as I reveal some stuff. All right, so from the ground here, as this shatters open, you notice a large creature suddenly emerges in this shattered space.
What is that?
I knew it. Turtle sense never lies.
As you notice this creature and kind of just get a quick glance at it, you can see it has like this chitinous carapace, so it looks like it's very rocky-hided, perhaps, and it has these very large mandibles in front that are chittering at the moment. So I'm going to roll a check really quick for this creature and see who is surprised. All right, so as far as line of sight goes, I would say, Finn, you're not really sure what's going on, so you are definitely surprised. Kertu, you would have a chance. Reggie, Kat will have a chance. Miza is also certainly surprised. So the rest of you guys are going to get an opportunity based on your passive perception here. Or actually, because I'm putting all the dice in you guys' hands, why don't you guys go ahead and roll active perception checks. So this will be Calhoun, Bryn, Kertu, Reggie, and Kat.
Mind?
You can just roll this one publicly. All right, Talhoun, you are certainly not surprised. Bryn, you are surprised. Kertu, you're surprised. Reggie is not. And Cat is not as well. Okay, so I'm going to put yellow dots on our 2 surprise folks. You guys will essentially be surprised for the first round of activity here. And let me go ahead and get us an initiative. Kick on some more appropriate music. Okay, and quickest act would be Finnegan, but unfortunately he is surprised, so we will skip his turn. Move to Reggie. So Reggie, you hear the sound of splintering wood as this large creature bursts forth through the ground. What would you like to do?
Okay, I'm going to... man, I can see that it's right there by the doorway already. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to step around... Oh, am I still locked? Oh, yeah.
Oh, you may be. Let me unlock real quick. There you are.
Alright, so I'm going to go to the other side of Cat here. Not that far, sorry. Boom. And... let's see. I was traveling, so I have my shield and an empty hand. So with the empty hand, I'm just going to reach out towards the creature. And... let me check distance. Okay, so I'm actually going to move to here. And I'm going to... you guys watch as Reggie plucks the green mushroom off of his back that he told Finn not to eat. And he's going to take a bite of it. And then as he's chewing, you can see this kind of like dusty cloud of s'mores in his mouth. And he's going to spit out. And he's going to do a poison spray attack.
All right, go ahead and give me a spell effect roll, and we'll see if this creature is affected.
Can I use my inspiration?
You sure can. Reroll that, burn your inspiration.
If I don't use it, I forget that I have it.
The creature is not affected by this.
Alright. Interact with object. I'm going to draw my quarterstaff and raise my shield and get ready for battle.
Alright, the next quickest to react is the creature itself as it has burst through from the ground here, and it is going to bite out at Talhoun. Talhoun, go ahead and give me a defensive roll, please. Alright, as these large jaws come slashing in towards you, you do manage to get your armor or turn sort of in a way where the mandibles kind of clatter, but not to do any kind of damage to you.
I'm going to grit my teeth and sneer.
We move to Cat's turn.
Is the door still open? Do I have a clear shot through it?
The door is open. Clear shot. I would say, yes, you have a clear shot from where you're at the moment.
Okay, I will... I will take a standard shot. I will not try to use my...
Steady aim?
steady aim, yeah.
Alright, crossbow bolt does indeed connect.
For 8 plus 5.
Alright, bolt punctures into this carapace of the creature, and you can see a little bit of this greenish black blood suddenly starts trailing down its flanks.
And then with my movement, I will pop around the side here and take cover behind this wall.
Alright, Miza is also surprised. Bryn, unfortunately, surprised. Kertu is surprised. Move to Talhoun.
He's gonna get smacked at. +1 greatsword. Ka-chow.
You slash down at the creature recklessly, trying to hit it very strongly, but miss.
I'm gonna grit my teeth and sneer again.
Alright, top of the next round. Finn, now knowing what's going on, what would you like to do?
I'll move there. Oh, I get it! It's a giant termite! Flip my Zippo up, firebolt.
Your firebolt sails wide.
How did I miss it? Okay, that's 5, 10, 15. I'll go there.
Okay, Reggie's turn.
All right. Reggie is going to bonus action Shillelagh. And you guys see as he kind of runs it along the grass as he's like kind of building up its energy into a smack kind of in one seamless motion. He's going to move forward as he does that. Sorry.
You step forward, smack out, and your shillelagh does indeed connect. Hitting into the side of the creature, and you can hear this rocky part of its skin sort of crackle.
Perfect. In my turn.
In response, Reggie, you notice the creature spins and looks at you, reaches back, and shoots out this blast of acid right towards you. Alright, so you're using a reaction when a creature you can see moves into a space or starts its turn there. Alright, your Constitution effect roll unfortunately will not affect it, so I believe that's going to be no damage on a success. Okay, so you've burnt your reaction, and this acid spray comes flying towards you. I will need you to make a Dexterity save. Alright, you fail this save, suffering 14 points of acid damage as it coats your shell and your skin and burns and sizzles. Cat.
Alright, I'll bonus action hide attempt, blind check
Okay.
for cunning action, and then I will pop around the corner here, back to the spot where I could see it clearly. Reggie might be a little bit in the way, but I'll still take the shot.
He is indeed, and he knows you're there.
That's fair. Light crossbow.
Your bolt does manage to connect, however. Alright, piercing in and wounding him as it hits into the mandible.
And rest of my movement back to where I was.
Alright, Maiza actually can do something now, so she'll step over to here, slowly making her way down the hill. As she gets on the other side of this area, she is just going to quickly throw some pouch dust out at it. But unfortunately, it has no effect on the creature as we move to Bryn.
Alright, I'm gonna attack it with my greatsword.
Yes, your greatsword connects. You slash and wound the creature. You can see it bleeding profusely from many different wounds now. Kertu.
Alright, I'm gonna try to get a better angle here. Alright, I know I have a little bit of a disadvantage there, but I'm gonna go ahead and shoot him with Firebolt.
Alright, you try to shoot past this very large, tanky turtle. And even with the cover, that will connect.
One or two.
The
Yes!
fire singes the creature, and you see, or you hear this large chittering sound as its limbs flail, and it collapses into this partial hole underneath it. Alright guys, we are out of combat. You have defeated another creature as you're starting to push your way a bit into this building here. It's a couple minutes early, but it's a great time. Why don't we go ahead and pause and take our 15-minute break here, guys.
Good team.
Sounds good.
See y'all in a few.
Great fight, guys.
Welcome to the second half of our session here. The group is currently at a logger's camp and has just finished defeating a creature that burst forth from underground inside this building, splintering some of the floor here that is made of wood. And the group is now looking at one another, I imagine, trying to figure out what they've gotten themselves into here. Let's get you guys back over on the map.
The hole that it fell back into, Adam, is it like quite large?
The hole itself is decently sized, but you notice as you start looking like towards the base of the body of the creature, it is not a hole that continues going on. Your impression you get from this creature is that as it burrows through the ground, it continuously moves the material behind it, so the hole is essentially sealed behind it as it continues burrowing.
Do I recognize the animal at all?
You can give me a nature check blind, and we'll see if you know. You do seem to recall that this is what is known as an ankag. They are burrowing creatures that usually are a nuisance for farmers, as they tend to move through in farm areas. They're really good at like aerating crops. That part's beneficial, but they also have quite an ability to detect movement on the surface, making it where they easily detect people, even those trying to hide from them, within a certain range. And they tend to have a hankering for eating almost anything that they can get their mandibles around. So yes, they are quite deadly and ambush predators, you could think of them as.
Hive-minded, I guess, too. Like there's like ants kind of thing.
Not so much. I wouldn't say you think of them as any kind of, mental communication with one another, but you could think of them as similar to insects, yes.
I'll explain it to the group, and I'll be like, but I don't think they would destroy these buildings.
Perhaps they saw an intruder.
The plot thickens, but
It is poisonous, though, right?
It was more like acidic.
Oh.
Do you think there'd be more of them, or just the one?
I mean, to fighting off this many people, I'd imagine there'd have to be more than one.
Yes, that thing was pretty weak.
Hey, Adam, how far down did it fall in the ground?
Not far at all. As mentioned, the hole is not very deep, so as they burrow, they continue to replace the dirt behind them. So the body itself, I would say the upper 1/3 of the body is still above the surface.
Oh, great.
How big is the creature exactly? I know it occupies 4 spaces on the map, but is it like towering over us, or?
Not right now, no. I would say it's about horse size. If it completely came out of the hole and stood, straight up, it would certainly be as tall as you guys and probably a good 12 feet long or maybe even more.
So you'll see Finn say, acid, you say? All right. And he picks up one of his little, his tools. Acid. I could take some acid from it. I should give it a shot.
Maybe. Do you know if, they have, a sack? Or if it's, maybe the stomach acid they spit? Also, what was that large guy's name with the climbing boots back at Phandalin? I bet you if we took those mandibles, he'd pay us for it.
Okay, I'll do more of the trying to get the glands where the acid came out, or the stomach, or by his mandibles. Someone else probably needs to chop those things off. And I'm gonna poke them. They look funny, don't they?
I can hack them off.
Think that I don't really believe. I think his name was Brago. I don't think that he would really care for this. From what you guys have explained to me, this creature just seems almost as if it's mundane.
Pest of sorts. Just a very large pest.
Exactly, yes.
Well, next time we see one, if you want to take the acid spit to the face, be my guest.
You still have some on you?
No.
And I'm gonna jump. I guess his head's up there, so I don't need to. I'm just gonna look like a dentist. I put my little goggles on, and I got one of my supplies: the alchemist, thieves' tools, cook utensils, tinker's tools, or herbalism kit, to see if I can extract the gland that was used to shoot acid.
All right, so I will use your same nature check before to identify the part that can be harvested here. So again, harvesting this is actually going to fall under leatherworkers tools, because what you're trying to do is find the particular body part that you have to remove in order to acquire some of this acid. So if you don't have leatherworkers tools, you can try another toolkit, like herbalism perhaps, but either way it would be made at disadvantage.
You said there's a tool shed. Is there? No, there's no tools for leatherworking because we're at a logging camp. All right, I'll try it with my herbalism kit.
All right, go ahead and throw me a blind check.
Do we see any leatherworking tools around here?
Not what would constitute leatherworkers tools as the toolkit itself. You can see a few odds and ends, but nothing that you think you could put together a kit. Let's see, Finn, you unfortunately do not succeed in extracting any acid here. And I will need you to make a dexterity saving throw to see if you've exposed yourself to this acid.
Okay, I'm gonna spend a hit die, please.
Okay.
So dex saving throw, this will be, and then plus a 1d8.
Yes, you do manage to avoid this as you sort of rupture this acid sac inside of the creature that you're able to get to, and you see you quickly pull back, and you are not hit by this acid.
Yeah, I think that saved me. Oh, well, dang it. I gotta get better at everything, don't I?
Well, I mean, we weren't necessarily prepared to face this creature.
All right, what's around here? I'm gonna check the floor before I move, but is it stable if I move forward here? Let me get my pointer. Like, how's the floor look?
It looks perfectly fine, but it also looked perfectly fine before the creature burst through.
Oh.
Yeah, so as we're traversing through, can we kind of blind man with a walking stick, right? But like poke the floor.
No. He can hear our footsteps from underneath. That's what I know about this creature, remember?
Oh yeah, good call.
Yeah, so let's I think we should just leave. Get back to the river and let's go find the hunting lodge.
Wait, am I hacking off the things, the talons?
No, let's just get out of here. I think we should just go. What do you guys think?
I mean, I think you should take the mandibles.
But wait, why is this structure still standing? It doesn't matter. Let's go.
Reggie's the smart one, so I will hack these off.
All right, you roughly hack off these mandibles. They don't look to be in great shape, but they're mandibles.
I'll put them in my pack.
Well, what do you think, Kertu?
I think we should check around the area to make sure there's no more.
They're definitely going to come up from underneath us. The more we pat our feet around on the ground.
Finn, you've got to take that potato out of your mouth for us to understand.
I just can't stop eating.
So why don't we compromise and just check out the rest of this building, and then if we don't find anything, we can go.
Yeah, okay. Sounds good. Well, you should go because you're light-footed.
I don't expect it matters, and I probably weigh more than any of you small people.
Oh, Cat, you're perfect.
Would anyone like to come with me so I don't get pulled underground?
I will go with you. I might break the floor, but at least we will go down together.
I'll guard out here.
I think there's a Fallout Boy song to that effect.
Maybe we
Is
try
this
to
just
stay.
a fireplace over here?
It is, yes.
Maybe we try to stay a little bit spaced just in case.
Well, I assume these are windows and this is a door.
You got it.
I will attempt to open this door.
The door handle turns, indicating that it is not locked, but as you try to push it forward, it does not move. You feel that there is something on the other side of the door that is blocking this door from opening, and at that same time you hear, who's there?
Sounds like we found a survivor after all.
No, you were right. I owe you a drink, Cat.
That's fine. Hey there, do you have any idea what happened here? We're just travelers passing through, and we happened to be set upon by... What did you call it, an ankeg?
That's right.
Some kind of burrowing insect monster. Thoughts? Concerns?
Yes,
normal?
they're terrible beasts. I heard screaming and hollering, and then silence.
Well, we killed one of them. Do you know how many there were?
No, where have you come from?
We're from Phandalin. We were looking for Falcon's Hunting Lodge.
Oh,
I assume this
Phandalin!
isn't.
You're from Phandalin? Oh, well, then maybe you can do me a great service. I need to get out of here. This is not safe here anymore. You see, my brother, he's the town master back at Phandalin. I'm sure he would reward you greatly if you made sure I got back safely.
What's the town master's name?
Harbin!
What's your name, as it happens? He never
Tybor.
mentioned a brother.
Yes, I'm Tybor Wester. My brother's Harbin Wester. He's the town master of Phandalin.
Checks out. Well, we were
see.
kind of in the middle of something. You know how to
Yeah.
get to Falcon's Hunting Lodge?
Yes, I do. I can tell you exactly how to get there, but please, it's not safe here. They're everywhere.
What's up with you Westers and hiding behind doors? Come out here. We're not gonna hurt you.
Well, you see, it's safe here. I've got this whole thing barricaded, and I'm sitting up on a table right now to not make any movement. I don't know. I just heard a lot of screams out there.
They burrow underground. I'm not sure your barricades are going to do very much. Unless you've barricaded the floor.
I'm trying to be really quiet. That'll work, don't you think?
I mean, we kind of blew the element of surprise here, so they probably know we're here.
Well, if you can go and see if anybody survived and deal with these terrible creatures and dispatch them, all of them, I will make sure that my brother rewards you. I'll tell you exactly how the best route to get to Falcon's Hunting Lodge.
You don't know how many there are.
I don't.
And how will you know if we kill them all?
Well, if you're able to walk down there and move around and nothing's there, then I'll take your word for it, I guess.
Where do you want us to go?
Just check the camp. Check the camps, make sure there's nothing. Maybe someone survived. Maybe in the tents. Maybe back by the woods. Sometimes they go out there and drop a deuce. Just check around.
He seems pleasant. Thoughts, guys? Do we want to do this?
Well, we don't know where the hunting lodge is, so yes.
We
Let's-
can't just leave him here.
Fair enough. We have anything, like, heavy we can throw in front of us to try to bait them out, or...?
Oh, only what you can find out there. I don't have anything.
I wasn't asking you, but thank you for your input.
Oh, sorry. So sorry.
I think, well, I mean, we know they burrow up. Bryn was able to dodge one. I mean, we could try maybe a spread out pattern as we move through the camp.
Well, we should stick somewhat close together so that we can react in time.
Fair
We've
enough.
Toggled the token lock again.
Finn, Kertu, and Talhoun, I'd like you guys to give me perception checks.
Does it need to be blind?
No, you can roll this one publicly.
Who? Me too?
Yes.
And you said, okay.
Okay, let's see. So Talhoun, as you're standing here, far off to your east, quite far indeed, you notice something curious. A shape moves out from the edge of the woods here, of this large tree. As it does so, you recognize it as a boar. But oddly enough, as it looks towards you, you see it actually looking almost like with intent. It doesn't have this sort of standard animalistic appearance about it, or mannerisms perhaps. It seems to be almost a little bit too smart. As it looks at you, it seems to look around in a very human-like gesture, looks back at you, and begins to trail off to the east.
Quick question. What do I know about rangers?
What do you know about rangers?
Well-
Is there something specific you're asking?
Okay, do I know that, like, for example, would I know that druids could shapeshift?
Yes, I'm sure you've heard of those kind of stories.
I will yell at the top of my lungs. Falcon!
You hear no response, and you see that the boar continues moving away.
Tokens are locked, but I would like to kind of ditch my friends and... Come on! Something peculiar. I just saw it.
Let's get
let's
fucking
move.
eaten by an Ankeg.
Oh, it's gonna be fun. Let's do it.
Did any of the rest of us hear him say that, or is he
You
whispering
certainly
that?
heard him shouting as he shouted, "Falcon!"
Hey, what's going on?
Did you see a bird?
No. I saw a creature. Looked at me with human eyes. Makes me think of the Rangers back home, or druids back home. They shapeshift. Could be our friend Falcon that we seek.
Did we
Um,
learn anything about that? Do we know he's a druid?
does he turn into creatures?
I don't think we ever bothered to ask. If you yelled at him, we all heard you yell at him, and he didn't respond or come closer. I don't think he's your... I feel like he would have acknowledged that if you knew his name.
And we're heading that way anyway, right? To look at the camps?
Well, remember, we have to watch our step. We can't just go charging off, or we're all going to get eaten by subterranean horrors.
Oh, yeah,
So-
I'm watching my step.
Why don't we proceed carefully?
Good point.
I think it's a good idea. All the people with heavy armor go way in front of me.
Oh, by the way, everybody, inside, Cat tried to open this door, and we came across the town master's brother. He's hidden inside, and he said he knows the way to the lodge also.
Maybe he knows that Falcon turns into other beasts, not just birds.
That is an excellent point. Maybe we should ask.
Wait, who said that Falcon turned into animals?
Calhoun did.
I didn't say that.
He
But he's
said
young.
He's a druid.
Okay.
Sorry, I just had to ask.
And whoever or whatever it was, it doesn't seem like it's... It seems like it wandered off, so... Maybe we should be... cautious, I suppose? We don't know if it's friend or foe. So...
You said it was human-like almost in its gestures, right, Calhoun?
His eyes, the way it moved, it seemed like a boar. Someone just trying to blend in with the environment. But I
So
couldn't
we're-
tell.
So we're being hunted.
Well, wait. Was
I don't
it?
know that. It could be... I don't know what it could be. I didn't see it.
Think carefully, Calhoun. Did it make a noise? Did you hear a grunt or thunder?
I just heard thunder. I don't remember any noise.
So, what if it was an illusion? Maybe trying to draw us in that direction.
From these mindless creatures that burrow underground? I highly doubt it.
I don't think it was the creatures, no.
But maybe they know the creatures are in that direction and are trying to lure us into a trap. Wester's brother did say he thinks they might be near the camp.
There's a whole bunch of maybes going on here. Let's just go
Why
check
don't we
out the camp.
Yes, I agree with Kertu. Let's just advance with our high meat point people in front, and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
That's you, by the way. Thank you.
Yep.
Wow, they're fast.
Calhoun,
Hey!
as you rush forward very quickly, you hear a sudden burst from the ground as in front of you explodes forth another one of these creatures.
Yeah.
All right, as it bursts forward, I'm going to go ahead and throw initiative.
What are the names again, since I rolled well in the nature?
And kegs. All right, as you guys are aware of this tactic and more prepared, nobody is surprised. However, Kat, you are the quickest to react.
Right. Jordan, the player didn't see where Victor went, but Cat would have been following Talhun, so where is he? This fireplace is completely blocking my vision, so I assume he's somewhere in this area.
You assume correctly, yes.
Process of elimination. Okay, 5. I'm still locked.
There you are.
5, 10. How tall is the fireplace, by the way? Is it tall enough?
I'd say
to
it's
block
like,
my shot?
it is, yes. Yeah, you can assume it's probably like 6 to 8 feet.
So 15, 20. How about here? Good enough?
Yeah, you have a shot at it.
Alright, I will take a shot. Cannot use my bonus action, and we've determined hiding is pointless, so I will just take the normal shot. I assume that misses.
You assume correctly, yes, that bolt goes wide.
20, and then I'll back off behind. How big is this wood pile? If I slip 10 more feet behind it, will I be able to have some kind of cover from...
You would, yes.
Okay, so I will do that in my turn.
Okay, next up, Talhoun.
I'm gonna swing my sword.
You slash down upon the creature and connect. Yes, swinging mightily and carving into the creature's midsection.
Okay, give me just a moment.
Is your Great Weapon Master always going to be on?
Always.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna move right here and yell to Bryn. Come on!
As you move to there, Talhoun, you hear another explosion from the dirt as a second one bursts forth from the ground.
Well, I'm gonna yell, Bryn, come on! I've got his attention.
Looks like you've
Utilize.
got several attentions.
Yeehaw! It doesn't matter. Let's move. Create the flank.
This one that just burst from the ground appreciates you creating that flank for it as it rushes up and tries to bite you. I will need a defensive roll, Talhoun.
You know, I saw that coming.
Nice. This will count as a fumble for the opponent. Go ahead and roll a fumble melee.
Me?
Yes.
Falls
yep.
over and knock itself out. God
All right,
damn
the
it.
Ankeg is quite embarrassed as it does not connect as we move to Kertu's turn.
Take that.
I'm coming. I won't create the flank, though.
Yeah, I'll just go there and
Firebolt to kill the last one.
There's more than one, by the way.
Your firebolt manages to connect. Go ahead and post damage. Yes, hitting the creature square in the face and singeing it badly.
Job, Bill.
I did damage.
All right, and it is that creature's turn, and yes, it is going to strike at Talhoun as well on the flank. Another defensive roll, please, Talhoun. This time, the bite manages to get through your defenses as those mandibles snap, striking into you, slashing into you, and you can also feel this acidicness coming out from the middle of those jaws. It's going to deal 13 total damage, 9 slashing, 3 acid, and now you are considered to be grappled.
12, but okay.
Oh,
Is
what
it-
did I say?
You said 13.
My bad, 12. Yes, I know how to maths, guys.
Sometimes.
Just only sometimes, yes. Okay, Miza's turn. We throw a quick grapple icon onto Talhoun here. Alright, and Miza's turn. She will make her way up a bit to here, and... let me see what the range on this spell is real quick. Okay, yeah. You notice Maiza putting her hands together, and she is going to have to get just a oh no, that's actually just within reach. So from where she's at now, she is going to put her hands together. As you see, she opens them suddenly, and those of you who are close enough, you notice there is actually a dragonfly in her hand, and she blows on it as the dragonfly moves at a very rapid speed right towards Talhoun. Talhoun, you get a +2 to your AC. From there, she is going to throw out some pouch dust at the creature. This will hit as the creature is struck with that pouch dust and is wounded.
So who is the grappler? Is it this guy?
The grappler is the west wounded one, yes. Reggie's
Okay.
turn.
You're fine.
Okay. Okay, so Reggie's going to move to here, and he's going to raise his hand up as he moves, and you see this kind of ghostly hand reach up and try to grab the one that's got a hold of Talhoun.
That will certainly connect. As the creature suffers some necrotic damages and is wounded.
Alright, and then that'll end my turn for now.
Okay, go ahead and pass your turn. We'll move on to Bryn.
Okay, Bryn is going to roar and sprint towards this one. And give it a good whack with her greatsword.
Okay, Bryn, you slash down, certainly connecting against that creature. Go ahead and post damage. Yes, this will be enough as your blade severs right into the center of the creature and slays it, releasing the grapple from Talhoun.
Splash any more acid on him, doing more damage to Victor's character?
Unfortunately not.
Oh well.
My
Maybe
God,
next
whose side are you on? Poor Victor.
My alignment is chaotic. I have to.
What about your characters?
What?
Anything else on your turn here, Bryn?
Nope.
Alright, I just had to reset the scripts. Go ahead and hit your end turn button. We move to Finn.
Alright. 5, 10, 15, 20. Excuse me, Maiza. 30. There, and I should. Yeah. Okay, well, it's 120. I don't know why I measured. Alright, so I get my Zippo out, and I'm gonna blow on the flame and cast Fireball at it.
Yes, your firebolt swings through the air, definitely does connect, and scorches the creature a bit. Okay, next up is Cat.
Alright. It's tricky, but do you think I can make this shot, or do I have to shoot through somebody to do it?
Well, you get to pick a corner of your square, so let's see if we pick the back corner. I would say you have
how do
a
I
shot.
do that? Okay.
Yeah, you have to hold down Alt to do it, but either way, I think you're good.
Alright, then I will steady aim advantage shot.
Alright, yeah, you just poke out the back of that side of that lumber, focus
I lost
carefully,
my condition again.
fire a shot right through as it whistles through the air, connecting on the creature with advantage,
8 plus 8.
and wounds the creature as that bolt punctures into its forelimbs.
I can't move, don't have a bonus action to use, so I am good.
Alright, next up is Talhoun, no longer grappled.
Okay, so I'm gonna look around at my party for approval when I say, if they're all gonna be engaged, what's the point of stopping it now? And then kind of try to move. But before I move, does anybody give me any kind of disapproval?
Finnegan's gonna say to Maiza and Cat, what did he say? That didn't make any sense.
Oh, I can't hear him from back here, darling.
Yeah, Cat, did that make any sense to you?
I think he wants to do something stupid, which is in character for him, so I'm all for it.
Yes, go ahead!
I think he
Alright.
said use fire.
Yep. Okay, so Bren nods approval. That's all I need. All right, so I'm gonna try to create the flank again for Bren to move forward. Any more landmines?
No
Three more
other
of them are still around you.
no other obvious threats so far.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna swing. Ooh.
Nice. Go ahead and roll a slashing crit.
Yeah. Boy, that sword I made for you was good.
I know.
Alright, so normal damage, and the creature starts bleeding. So go ahead and post your damage. We'll take regular damage, not critical. That will wound the creature severely.
And then
And it begins
1d6.
to bleed.
Can we use the 1d6 now? Well,
Unfortunately, not until the start of its next turn, but that might be enough. We'll have to see. Alright,
use the 1d6
start
now?
of the creature's turn. Go ahead and throw a d6. Oh, not enough.
Come on.
And yes, Talhoun, it is going to try to... Actually, what it's going to do here is instead of trying to bite you, it's just going to spit acid at you, so I will need a dex saving throw. Alright, you succeed this save, suffering only half that damage, so 4 points of acid damage as this acid spray just seems to collect around you as we move to Kertu's turn.
Burn!
Firebolt connects. Yes, this is enough as the firebolt smacks into the creature and burns it badly as it collapses to the ground. Alright guys, we have completed this battle as well as you guys have survived this.
Calhoun, now go toward the beach.
You're doing great, Talhoun. Keep finding them. Go north. Go towards the beach. Go north.
Bryn, as you step there, suddenly bursting forth from the ground is another one of these creatures.
Adam,
Oh, Reggie was close.
let's just stay in initiative. I like the one I had before. all right?
Reggie was literally 5 feet away from triggering
Yeah.
that one.
I see that.
What's funny is I was going to go, depending on what you're going to say, this was my route I was going to take around
You
the
were
log.
going to avoid it entirely if you went that way. All right, so as this one bursts forth, once again, you guys are ready. Cat, you are the quickest to act.
Is feeling kind of confident with 3 people kind of in the way, so she's going to steady aim again. So I will stay put, and I get advantage on this shot. God damn it, I keep losing my character sheet.
Yes, that certainly connects.
So 9 plus 9.
Puncturing into the creature's shoulder.
Cannot move. No useful bonus actions, end turn.
Finnegan.
All right. Well, just for fun, because I haven't cast this spell in a while. So you see Finn's going to check the distance. It's all good. He's going to get some dust out of his alchemist supplies. He's going to hold it in his hands and look at Miza, because that's what Miza's been doing. He's going to blow on it, and I'm going to cast Fairy Fire. It's going to fly towards the creature and attempt to land on the creature.
All right, go ahead and give me a spell effect roll. We'll see if this gets him.
I think you have Fairy Fire in the macros.
Oh, shoot.
That one you're okay with, yeah. Oh, you mean for the smart AoE?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could do that as well. Whatever's easier for you there.
Yeah, I didn't want to, take over your turn. I was just reminding you that we did have that there.
Yeah, I have to be retaught how to do it. It's funny. I played this high-level wizard, and I still don't know how to use
It's still new for us. We've only done it a few times. The easiest one is just to do your spell effect roll, and then I can let you know if it gets him or not. Let's see. That was a dex save. Yes, that will affect him, so he will be covered. And which color is your fairy dust?
It's going to be red, like fire.
All right, red fairy dust falls on the Ankag, and he is surrounded by this, lighting him up, making it very easy to see where he's at.
I'm going to move where we've been, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Oh, let me unlock those. I forgot you guys were locked again. Go ahead. Okay, Talhoun.
All right. Hopefully I don't conjure any more creatures.
Go for it. This has been easy so far.
Actually, that's as far as I can go, I guess.
You rush forward to the red sparkly creature.
Okay. And I'm going to take a swing.
You slash down with advantage thanks to Fairy Fire, but unfortunately miss.
Alright, I'm going to do the taunt thing. Like, look at me. I'm the enemy. I've got a big sword.
You wave your big sword back and forth aggressively. You're not sure if that does anything, but you feel better.
Yeah, I'm trying to get his attention.
All right,
A lance
Kertu.
would have got his attention.
There's more? Holy smokes! Speaking of smokes, he's got fire on him.
Nice. Fire crit. Go ahead and roll it. What happened to Bill? Where'd Bill go? What's
Oh,
up
I've
with
already rolled 2 of them earlier.
Given up his dice to the dice gods and gotten new ones.
You
I
know,
think.
1 green versus 2 red still doesn't average out, right?
Did you take a trip out to Wisconsin and see Gary Gygax's little thing in the ground there?
We'll see. We'll see if I roll a 1 or something crazy, so we'll see.
Oh, you gotta roll 2 ones. I think you can do it, though.
You got this.
Fire crit. Let's see. Heat wave. Okay, damage is normal. Attack rolls for attacks that deal fire damage advantage when the okay. So yes, this will be standard damage. Go ahead and post damage. We'll take that. And then if anybody hits the creature with a spell that deals fire damage, or actually any attack. So any attack that deals fire damage will have advantage against the creature until the end of its next turn.
There you go, Bill. It was useless because we already had advantage.
Don't you
It
feel
was-
better now?
More fire is never a bad thing.
All right, Miza's turn. Still concentrating on that spell for Talhoun. She will move up a little bit and throw out some pouch dust at the creature. But unfortunately, that will not affect it. It's a move to Bryn's turn.
Okay, Bryn's going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and smack it.
All right, you take that flank position, slashing out at the fairy-fired creature. That certainly connects. Wounding the creature. Creature is looking very bad. Reggie.
Okie dokie. Reggie is going to use his interact with object to draw his quarterstaff. He's going to bonus action Shillelagh. And what you see is he kind of holds it up, absorbing the rain as he's moving forward to here, and these bluish mushrooms start sprouting on it, and he's just going to bring it down on the head of the creature.
That will connect. Hot dice tonight, guys. Go ahead and roll us
Jesus.
a bludgeoning crit. All right, true crit. Go ahead and post that damage. We'll take both of them. Yes, you smack in with such force that you actually cave in the skull of this end keg as it drops to the ground immediately. All right, you guys have survived another battle with these creatures. Find yourself standing in this logging camp, looking around, wondering if there are more.
Yes, Talhoun kind of stands there with, you know, this gash across his face with, like, acid burns. Yeah, these guys are a bunch of chumps.
Hey, Talhoun, come here. Come here. I tug on like your belt there. Hey, so I made this elixir. I think you've earned it. You can drink it whenever you want. I call it an elixir of resilience. So it takes an action to drink it. It'll give you +1 to armor class for 10 minutes. Okay, so you can just use it whenever you want. Good job up there.
Yeah, and I knock it back. And I kind of look around and...
Oh, just drink it now. That's a great idea.
Oh, I mean, there could be anything around. And I kind of look around like Doom Guy, bloodied face, just, where's the next opponent?
Okay, I'm going to look in this tent, Adam.
All right, you look into this tent as you see Kat walking away, having just inspected that tent. Much
Oh.
like her, you find nothing of interest.
When did that happen? Oh, okay. All right. No, I'm
You
not
can check
walking
the
away.
other ones if it makes you feel better.
No. How long has this campfire been out?
Give me a blind check. Several hours at least. Hard to pinpoint an exact time.
Oh, can I look in here? Thanks. Excuse me. I'm a gnome. I can do it too.
All right. Is it fair to say you guys are going to spend some time searching around this area?
Yeah, I think this area, this campsite, yes.
He did say to check the camp for survivors, so.
Okay, as you search around this area looking for any survivors or anything else of interest, there's a few things that become quite apparent to you. You notice that there are trail marks moving through this sort of soft sand all around you. Based on what you can gather, is it seems as though people were drugged to certain areas and then taken underground. As you've noticed from these creatures that you fought and the one in the house, the holes that they dig don't go very far because they keep replacing the dirt behind them. So it seems to indicate to you that these creatures bursted out of the ground, grabbed onto likely all of the loggers, and then took them underground, presumably to be devoured down below. You see no signs of obvious blood or anything else. If you were looking at the surface here, you would assume everything was fine other than the creatures that you have now slain. Also searching, however, Talhoun, you notice as you take a look at this campfire specifically, you notice that Finn kind of gazed at it here to see how long it had been out, but as you step between these two logs and kind of just start poking around, you notice something strange is actually buried underneath some of this debris and charcoal.
I'm gonna dig it.
All right.
What'd you find?
You begin digging through this debris and charcoal, and you can find a bundle of stick figures. They look to be red, as though they've been splashed with blood, and you can see tiny lightning bolt symbols have been inscribed upon them.
I'm gonna, how many are there?
There are a total of 13.
I bet you if we go back and ask that townmaster's brother there how many loggers were here, we'd get a number close to that.
How big is the object? Handheld or?
Handheld, yes. There's 13 of them. Each one of individually of these stick figures is tiny. So all bundled together, yeah, you can think of it about, maybe the size of a book.
So are they sticks, or are they kind of like fetishes, or like?
Give me a blind
Voodoo
religion
dolls.
check, Talhoun, as you look at this for deeper meaning.
Blind. All right, I brought up my character sheet. I gotta make a blind check.
You recognize that this is a totem, and it is dedicated to the deity Talos. Its purpose is to bring ill fortune to all who reside near it.
I thought Talos worship was banned in this area. Sorry.
Talhoun, you said earlier you saw that boar. I mean, maybe it was watching to see what happened to the loggers. It didn't account for us showing up.
Perhaps.
Do you think it left this ominous little thing here?
I don't know. I mean, those... Maybe they were found and tried to be destroyed? I mean, it's within a fire. Are they singed, Talhoun, or burnt, or were they placed there?
They are
After the
not
fact.
singed at all. In fact, they look to be decent quality considering that they were placed inside of this area. If you didn't know any better, you would think that somebody intentionally hid them here.
Is there any kind of I guess semblance of how do you pronounce that? Grumsh?
Oh, you're talking about the orc deity?
Yeah.
No, this one is dedicated to Talos.
Yeah.
Are you
Okay.
familiar with Talos? If not,
Very
your
briefly.
character is, based on your religion, so I can certainly give you a brief description. Talos is the dark side of nature, the uncaring and destructive force that might strike at any time. He is the god of storms, forest fires, earthquakes, tornadoes, and general destruction. He counts the Ravager, the Raider, the Looter, and the Brigand among his followers. Those who favor him see life as a succession of random effects and a sea of chaos, so the devout should grab what they can, when they can, for who can say when Talos will strike and send them into the afterlife.
So this sounds like potentially orcs.
Sounds like a curse.
Definitely sounds orcish, maybe, but definitely necromantic in nature. I mean, Adam, have I ever read up of any cultist groups that worship Talos in this area that are like known for it?
Certainly not in this area. This area, short of this recent incursion of this white dragon, is kind of Boringsville in reality. There's not a lot that goes on here. So you can feel free to make a blind check to see if there's any, far away information you might have heard of anything like this, but certainly not in this area. So I would say you certainly know that there are cults and different groups, sometimes clans, or even more primitive type of individuals. Talos worship among brutish humanoids seems to be somewhat common, but not as common as, say, deity-specific religions. But no, you can't think of any specific cults in this area that would be dedicated to Talos.
Okay, so perhaps we should reach out to your friend in the hut. Figure out if he is also one of the, I guess, clergy or followers of Talos.
The only thing that worries me now is whatever that boar was saw you, and now it's gone, so...
Regardless.
I agree, we need to warn and talk to Falcon, but I believe that maybe now people might know we're here.
What about this other camp?
Perhaps, however, I would like to know what your friend has any kind of what information your friend has.
He's not my friend. I've never met him.
We can go back and ask him, but I don't think he's gonna know, unless you think he's responsible for this.
And I kind of, being a high priest of Lathander, kind of crush one of the Talos fetishes at this point.
You've given yourself a promotion. You're suddenly a high priest. All right, I like it.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah,
you destroy the totem fetish of Talos, yes.
Yeah. As I destroy one, just squishing one in my hand.
He's a 17. He knows everything.
I believe that if he is a part of this, he should perish with the rest of them.
Are you talking about the man inside Talhun? Like the one that's locked behind that door?
Aye.
Oh, he's way too scared.
Hey,
he has no courage in his heart.
Talhun, your armor's glowing probably for another 5 minutes. Do you want to check out the other camp? You drank that elixir a little quick.
Let's do it.
Maybe grab that barrel and roll the barrel, and maybe that'll attract some more creatures for us.
Good luck. Yes, just up there to the north. And then we'll talk about Talos and all those issues. Let's clear the camp. What do you think about that?
All right. Talhoun's a young guy. Let's get him killed. Let's move.
No, I'm getting you distracted from your train of thought.
I guess I'll move in. Waiting for the tokens to be locked.
You make your way to the north camp, eyeing the ground very carefully, looking at these various tents, but all is calm and quiet. You see the same signs of beings being dragged to the south and southwest, but you hear nothing else and no explosions from the dirt.
There's nothing over here, like there's no trail marks leading this way?
No, they seem to be going away from this area back to where you fought the other Ankags.
If I dig around this little, this where the fire pit was. If I look around, does it seem as if there's anything under it, or does it just seem?
Give me a blind check as you investigate this area for anything of interest.
Basically, I'm looking for the same kind of fetishes.
Right, yeah, same thought as you kind of push through this charcoal piles and the debris here, but no, you find nothing like that or nothing else of interest.
Seems like the nest was in the other camp. It doesn't look like there's another one over here.
Yep, you can blind check as well, Finn, as you spend some time searching the tents. You can find some odds and ends here, like a water skin hanging on a peg. You can find some small tools, like hammers and saws, very similar to the other tools that you have discovered, but nothing of real interest or value here. Altogether, I would say searching both of these areas, you guys have spent quite a bit of time, and you don't find anything of particular interest. Bryn, this barrel, as you kind of just shake it a little bit, it does certainly contain some type of liquid. You can hear it sloshing around inside.
Sniff its bunghole.
Yeah, can I open it and try and see if it's booze?
Sure, yeah, you spend a bit of time here popping it open, and you do get the scent of ale. As you look inside, you see an amber-colored liquid.
I think I found perhaps some refreshment over here if anybody is interested.
I'm interested. Can I see what kind of ale it is? I think I have brewer's kit, do I? I'm proficient, but I don't have the kit. Okay, anyway, I'd like to see what kind of booze it is.
Yeah, as you get a bit closer, this is not really a check needed. This seems to be kind of a common ale that you would find mostly in like cheaper or poorer taverns. So you guess this is probably, probably the cheapest ale that the lager master here wanted to provide.
We found a keg of Keystone Light.
Oh, I said Old Mill Yucky. Milwaukee.
You guys are ruining it. You never know. We might get sponsored by a beer company someday, okay?
We just aged ourselves at him a little bit because Keystone Light is my college drink.
Oh, I know that one too, so don't worry, man.
They had the best commercials.
All right, so far it seems like other than the creatures you fought to the south and the one in the house or the building, you haven't seen others, and everything seems calm.
Why don't we do one more quick sweep of this areas we haven't walked past yet, and then we can go back to, I've already forgotten his name, Tai something? Whatever. It's not important. Why don't we go back to him, and Talon can interrogate him if he feels like it. I don't think he has anything to do with this, but can see what he knows, and then say mission accomplished.
That's a great idea.
Yes, let's find out if he knows where the lodge is.
Wow. From what you guys have told me, I am assuming he knows where the lodge is. However, I would like to have his opinion on that. And I point to, as far as Talhoun is concerned, that is a desecration, like evil area.
Great, but let's find out where the lodge is first, and then we can do that.
For sure. Let's not get distracted.
I do agree with you. I mean, Talos is not a good sign to find here in the middle of the forest. It's distressing, to say the least.
I doubt they would put their own curse there.
I think they might have been ambushed by creatures.
Oh, yeah, I think that cat should be the one that talks to him. He probably remember her voice.
Sure, but I'm not super good at sussing out intentions, and getting people to talk, so
I'm pretty good at reading folks.
I can announce our success, and then Talhoun can ask him the questions that he wants to ask.
That sounds like a plan.
Bring him out here.
I'll come up and knock on the door.
Yes? Is that same people?
Hey, buddy. Yes, it's us again. We killed a bunch of them. We can't find any more, so I think they're all dead.
Give me a
You're welcome.
persuasion check, Cat. Blind. Oh, really? Oh my God, that's so good to hear. You hear the sound of getting closer, and suddenly the door is opened. You see, the sound of like moving and all that. You can see there's a desk that was basically pushed right up against this door, and it seemed as though his weight was on it, which was preventing anything from happening here, any kind of opening of the door. As you look at him, you can see he is a like maybe mid-30s kind of guy. He looks very haggard. His face looks very worn, as though he hasn't slept any time recently. And you see he puts a hand like through the scraggly reddish hair. Oh, I can't even begin to tell you how much relieved I am. You're sure they're all gone, right?
I'm pretty sure. We cleared out the nest, which was under the camp, so we didn't see any other signs of activity.
Nest? That couldn't have been here for very long. I mean, we've been cutting trees here for quite some time.
And they certainly set up shop underneath you at some point, so... well, we cleared them out, so... Again, you're welcome. I didn't hear a thank you, by the way.
I'm sorry, of course yes, thank you so much. I really appreciate your efforts. Just the three of you are able to take care of how many of them?
We have more friends outside, sir, and we kind of need to ask you about something if you'll follow us out there.
You're absolutely certain it's safe, though, right?
I mean,
We've been trudging up and down these roads for the better part of what, like 20 minutes, 30
Probably
minutes?
longer than that, yeah.
Longer than that, yeah. If anything was coming after us, they didn't seem very intelligent. They attacked us as soon as we approached them, so I don't think they're lying in wait.
If you say so, yes, okay. I'll head out. Oh, wow, there is quite a few of you. Thank you all.
So about this Falcon's hunting lodge, by the way, you said you were going to tell us where it is.
Yes, of course. I can tell you exactly how to get there. Well, you see, where you're at right now, if you continue following the river to the east, it will eventually branch and it will head to the south. Just follow that. If you always stay on the west side of the river, you can't miss it. Pretty much right where the river kind of peters down into just a very small stream, that is where Falcon's Lodge is.
Yeah.
Good to know.
thank you. Very kind.
I think Talhoun will kind of cut him off, and why don't you lead us?
To the lodge.
Aye.
I could, but, to be honest, I was going to just head back to Phandalin, but I don't fancy walking by myself anywhere. And with all this, the loggers gone, well, there's going to have to be a new plan drawn up. I certainly am not cutting down all these trees by myself, so yes, actually, that's not a bad idea. I wouldn't mind some security. Maybe Falcon would mind hosting me for a while.
Good answer.
Was anybody mad that you were out here cutting down trees?
Well, I don't think so. Of course, there was all those fuddy-duds in Neverwinter with their stupid devastation tax, but, I suppose you don't mean bureaucrats, right?
No, I mean like somebody who may have gotten mad at you guys for cutting down trees. Like somebody that maybe trained these creatures to come and attack your camp.
You think these beasts could be trained?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not a beast trainer.
I can't really think of anybody. I mean, obviously there's always people around that hate everything, but nothing specific.
Okay, I was just wondering because I don't know, but maybe these creatures came out because you were cutting down trees in their forest.
I don't know. I mean, from what I heard, it was just screaming and hollering. There was like not a negotiation or anything. And oh my goodness, look at those things. They're just very ugly. I don't know. I don't know.
All right, I don't know either. I'm just asking questions because it's curious, you know.
Reggie, as you slip back into the office here, you can see that there is a desk, and there is like a quill and some scratched pieces of parchment that look mostly like they have been crumpled up, sort of thing. You can see that there is some empty containers here that you presume were ration containers, and there is a water skin that looks to be nearly empty lying on the desk.
I don't see any like similar materials that were made to make those little idols, do I?
Give me a blind check as you spend a bit of time investigating this area for anything like that. No, you do not.
Okay, I'll just slip back out, try to be unseen, or at least not make a big scene.
Well,
you see,
I guess, is there anything else you wanted to know before we head to the lodge?
What? I guess I never caught it. What was your name?
Oh, me. I am Tybor. Yes, Tybor.
Pleased to meet you, Tybor. My name is Talhoun.
Yes, of course. Formal introductions. You see he kind of like wipes his hand on his coat sleeve here and then tries to get his hand as clean as he can as he reaches it out and says, yes, Tybor Wester. As I said, my brother's Harbin. He is the townmaster of Phandalin.
Pleased to meet you, Tybor. And I don't even clean my hand, and I extend it, shake his hand, and I point over to this camp, the camp southern. What? Who stayed? Who was residents to that camp? If you don't mind me asking.
The loggers, of course. Do you mean specific individuals?
Well, do you know of anybody that happened to be the shady sort?
Oh, shady sort, huh? Well, I mean, you know, loggers, they do what they got to do to get by. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if some of them were, you know, had illicit materials and stuff like that on them. Every now and again, we had problems with, well, you know, like drugs and things, but I don't think there was any, like, black markets or anything, if that's what you mean.
I'm going to produce one of the symbol things, the deities
that you've destroyed. So you're showing him like the pieces of it.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull out of my pocket the crumbs and everything.
And you see he kind of eyes it as he looks down as you're holding on to this like pile of garbage, basically. And he looks and goes, what is this?
This is a small deity of a god, if you will, that some people in these parts worship. Talos.
I've never actually seen Talos. Oh no, I've not seen anything like that. As far as I know, none of the loggers worship Talos. I mean, most of them just worship the bottle.
And that's kind of what I was going for. What Kat just said in chat. Does he look surprised at all?
Yeah, you can certainly do a blind check there, Kat.
Can Talhoun do one as well?
I will give Kat advantage to this as you're all kind of looking at him from different angles. But I would say, Kat, you're not sure. You don't get any strong impression one way or the other.
I don't say anything. I just...
And as I I kind of do that like side-eye look at him. Very well. Well, we might, and I pocket it. I put it in my pocket. Might as well. Let's go make haste towards Falcon's Lodge.
How long will it take us to get there? Do you have enough provisions to make it there?
Oh, I must say I'm kind of running low. I don't suppose you could share with some of yours.
Depends on how far we have to go, I suppose.
Well, you see, he kind of looks up at the sky. If we make haste, we might be able to get there in like maybe a day. Through the woods can be tough sometimes.
I'll look at.
Before we go anywhere, I'm sorry, but Talhoun, you're literally bleeding from your face.
Wait,
Let's clean that up, yeah?
I'm fine.
as you
What
say
time
that,
of day is it?
It is, I would say, late morning at this point.
Oh, we got plenty of travel time.
I'm fine, Reggie. I'll look at Finn. We have provisions, correct?
and you see Finn. He's got his supply kit out this whole time, and he's on both of his knees, and he's got his goggles on, and he's like, no, mix this, and he's and there's like a little chemical explosion, and he and he shakes the bottle, shake. Here, this should work. I think I did it. And I run over to Talhoun, and I'll say, okay. It's my first time making this, but this should work. Okay, drink it. Just do it right now. Try it. Tell me what you think.
As I grab it, I hold it up. What is it?
It's well, you drank the last one pretty quickly. Try this one.
Inside check? No, uncork, knock it back. I trust Finn.
All right, I made a elixir of healing, so 2d4 plus 2 hit points.
Oh, nice.
How does it taste? It should have a hint of strawberry.
You rolled 8s, but those were so low, I'll let you keep them.
You won't keep them?
No, I
Cut
said
'em in
you
half.
rolled so low, I'll let you keep them.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right.
Right.
Call me Bill.
So 2d4 plus 2, though, so it's 5.
Yeah, 5. I healed myself with 5. And I knock it back and... yeah.
And
Strawberry.
you see Miza looks towards you as well, Tahu, and says, I can always offer a little bit of aid as well. I just want to make sure we don't find ourselves in the forest with nothing to fall back on.
Listen. I've done sport, hunting, this whole thing, my whole life. I'm afraid
All
that
17 years of it?
all 17 years of it. I'm afraid that this is something that I've grown accustomed to.
You notice Miza steps a bit closer and kind of leans closer towards Finn and says, is that his secret way of saying he does want help?
He doesn't. He actually, every time he came to the Tiglo Inn, he just always bloodied from something. I think he trips on things a lot or something like that. He's fine. You're right. We should save ourselves and just head off to the Hunter's Lodge. You're sweet, Miza.
And I'm gonna put my arm down and put my hand on Finn's shoulder. I appreciate it, old friend.
Oh, they said, well, they'll get better over time. I'm sure of it. It's my first one. I'm glad it worked. Can I have the vial back, please?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
And the other one as well. The other one as well. Yes.
Yes, thank you.
I believe that we should just... I think we should just move.
Alright, sounds like the group would like to make their way away from the loggers' camp, heading east, essentially allowing Tybor to lead you to the hunting lodge.
Well, what I'd like to do mechanically, I want to grab an extra water skin that I found at that camp and then fill up our water skins at the river.
No! I've got a fresh water skin that hasn't even been used yet. And I can sell it to you for 2 silver. Wait a second, you've given me some food. Maybe I'll even give it to you for free.
Kertu, you've already given me that water skin. You already sold
I
it
didn't
to me.
remember. It's been a couple sessions.
I found one. This is fine. Let's just fill up our water and let's go. I might need extra water for cooking that spicy beef.
Should
He's right, we should
some of
refill
it in
that
that beer. I mean, maybe.
If you want to
And
drink
you,
that swill.
Tyler, do you have a bedroll or something? I don't know if we have room in our tents for another person. We didn't plan on this.
Speaking of which, should we take a couple of these tents? Tybor, would that be okay with you?
I certainly don't think the loggers are going to be used them.
What do you think, guys? Should we take
Hell
a
yeah,
few?
let's take their stuff.
Hey, actually, Tybor. Hey, so you guys must have cooked and stuff. Is there any like cooking supplies around? Spices or ingredients? I mean, you guys camped out here. What'd you eat?
You see, he sort of chuckles as he looks towards you and says, I'm afraid if you're looking for the finer fare, you won't find much here. It was mostly porridge, bread, and potatoes.
I'll take a potato.
Oh, but towards the north camp is where we usually did most of the food storage. I guess you could check there. There might still be some.
Excellent. And Finn's gonna pack up his alchemist supplies and start trotting off to the north camp and looking for potatoes. Mash them up, split them up, put them in a stew.
All right, you notice on these crates here next to the small wheelbarrow, there is a small selection of potatoes here, maybe 6 in total, but they look a bit smaller and a little on the getting ready to go bad side. So you can see they're starting to get dark, that sort of thing.
A little spudsy.
Right, yeah, they're sprouting the ears, you know.
All right. Hey, potato! I got taters! And he's gonna hold it above his
That's
head.
when you know they're still alive.
Yeah, and I'm gonna stand here and yell to Reggie, I wouldn't trust anything from that camp.
It's just a tent, Talhoun.
Tent is cursed. Anyone who sleeps in it is racked with horrible nightmares and suffers a level of exhaustion.
Exactly.
That's fine.
Thank you, Jordan.
No one has to share it with me. I'll have this nice 2-person tent to myself.
That's like a 4-person tent, according to our group.
I'm taking another tent.
What's in this barrel?
That barrel contains water.
It's okay, Misa. I have a 2-person tent. We're fine.
And you see she smiles as she looks towards you and says, oh, yes, and we don't take up much space, so I'm sure it'll be just fine.
I already have my own tent.
I think there's a tent in the SRD, right, Adam?
There should be, yeah.
Yeah. Right above something called a tentacle rod, which I don't think I want to know what it is.
Can Bryn fill up her, her
Water skin?
yes, with booze?
With the ale? Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, she'll do that.
All right, yeah, feel free to add water skin of ale to your sheet.
I'll do the same over on this barrel. Well, I don't think we've looked in this barrel, right?
So only one of them contained ale, and it was this one. The rest of the barrels that you've checked so far contained water.
Okay.
So it's the other 2 so far. These 2 here.
After I finish breaking down my tent, I'll go in and fill up my water skin, my extra one as well, with ale, and then I'll move over here and grab some water also.
Hey, these look like rafts, but they're not. They're just piles of wood?
They're piles of lumber, correct.
Oh, boo.
Want to try fording the river?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
All right, so as you guys have collected a bit of different things, some provisions here, are you guys ready to continue following Tybor down the river towards the lodge?
I assume we all refilled our water, so
Yep.
Yeah, there's plenty of access to water here, yep.
we're good. Let's go.
All right, so you guys exit from the camp as it continues raining just very lightly, rain coming down upon your group as you're making your way along the camp. Along the river. You travel for a bit of time, again, trying to stick to that river as best that you can. Tybor is every now and again pointing, and it's just, it's kind of tedious. You just continue making your way. After traveling for a good few hours, you can see the river begins to split and starts heading southeast. It gets much narrower here than it does in other areas, but Tybor's just like, yeah, this is the way to go. You guys continue pushing through the woods. Once you get to this area and travel for maybe a half hour or so down in this direction, all of you can start to hear the sound of what sounds like singing coming from the direction that you are heading. It is a very soft singing, but it seems to float. It's airy. It's like travels.
Hey, Tybor, any idea what that is? Have you been this way before?
He looks towards you and says, yes, I've been this way before, never by myself, and I don't recall ever hearing any singing before.
Suspicious. Anyone heard any stories of songs in the Neverwinter Wood?
Nope.
Adam, have I ever read any kind of like fables or myths or anything like that related to singing or anything similar?
I'm sure, but probably hundreds of different fables and how they would connect, and without any other information to go off of, I don't think a check would give you anything specific here.
Yeah, that makes sense. It is kind of broad.
You guys are like one of those, wow, you see a tree. Ooh, can I inspect the tree? In the forest?
Can I understand the language?
Yes, it's common. You can certainly understand it. You can hear the words. They're again, it's a little bit far away, so making out all the words exactly is a little bit challenging, but it certainly is common. Every now and again, you think you can hear the sound of an Elvish word, perhaps interspersed, though it sounds like the same voice. So obviously, those of you that are familiar with any kind of singing would know that frequently songs are, they take words from different languages based on the locales that they're in. This type of song, I guess probably you would approximate it most closely to a love ballad, perhaps, as it seems to be spiced with a lot of different Elvish words that are very flowery, that represent romantic situations and yearning, you could say.
You said the voice was airy. Do we pick out anything else about it? Is it like masculine, feminine?
Give me a blind check. I would say it's hard to tell, actually, because it has a light tone to it, but you don't detect a gender, I would say. It could certainly be either. I would say it's certainly on the softer side, so if it is a standard male singer, you would think he has more of a soft voice.
Sounds soft. Can't really make out much more. Do we want to get closer, or do we maybe want to wait, see if it passes by?
Well,
Sounds
only
like
only if it's on the way.
It seems to be coming from the southeast, which is the direction you guys are heading right now as you're following the river.
I grab a little weed from the bank and put it in my mouth like a chew toy, and I'm like, let's just keep going.
All right, so it sounds like the group continues traveling. You notice Tybor gets a little bit more anxious here. He kind of tries to move to the middle of the pack, and as you guys are looking to him, he's like, well, yeah, clearly we just follow the river, so it's just that way. I just want to make sure that there's no danger. I'm not really equipped for fighting. But you guys start making your way down the river. This voice does certainly get louder as you're getting closer, and off at a bit of a distance, maybe 100 feet or away or so now, you can see perched up in a tree, maybe 10 feet high, is on this long, huge branch, is a young man that is actually sitting on his back, and he's got one leg that's kind of crooked, so his knees pointed upwards, and you can see he's kind of tossing his hair back as he holds a hand out, and he seems to be singing up into the sky, almost like to the tree.
Is he visibly human, or is there anything special about him?
Hard to tell. I would say yes, you approximate him as human. He has standard human type ears. He's got piercing blue eyes. Looks very young, maybe in his teenage years perhaps. Short blonde hair, and seems to be wearing better clothing than you would expect for just a random traveler. Something maybe more akin to a noble perhaps.
This is irregular. Does he notice us?
If he does, he doesn't give any kind of indication that he does.
Hey, Cat, you think this is the shapeshifter Talhoun was all cuckoo about?
I'm not sure someone so extravagant dressed like that would want to transform into a pig, but he gives me the impression that he would be something more fancy if he had a choice. I just think it's strange that he's out in the middle of the woods, singing without a care. We've encountered several dangers on our way here, so this has me a little nervous.
Well, he's in our way.
Someone to speak to him.
Yeah.
Can't hurt. I mean, is he armed, Adam? Can we see any weaponry?
From where you're looking, you're seeing like part of him, I would say. You don't see any visible weapons upon him.
He doesn't look like he's looking at us, so maybe somebody slip into the side over there and take aim, and we'll initiate a conversation, maybe?
I'll go a little off to the side and let the rest of the group, or whoever's approach. Yeah.
And you're trying to move together forward quietly?
Here's what I want to do, and if the group wants to veto me, that's fine. If whoever's going to approach him wants to go up and like introduce himself, as they're doing that, I kind of want to slip off to the side a little bit and try not to look like I'm part of the group, while staying close enough that if anything happens to me, like if any boar or monster jumps out at me, I can still get back to the group relatively quickly. I want to stay within like line of sight, just not trying to attract attention to myself, if that makes sense.
It does. I'm translating that to 30-ish feet away from the group.
Sure.
Yep, sounds good. Perfect.
So the rest of the group, you're just sort of approaching and not trying to be undetected, correct?
Maybe someone else can come with me, so we're like 2 and 6.
I can go with you. I know how to shoot from a distance.
I don't know if shooting is going to be necessary, but let's...
I don't know. It's
Fair
not
to it.
going to be important. I don't know.
I agree with you. Let us be quiet while the others initiate conversation.
I think we just move non-threateningly. Talhoun, you're not necessarily the quietest of walkers.
I think that as long as we move past them without creating any kind of disturbance, we can make our way to Falcons.
I think Cat wants us to talk to them.
Well, if he doesn't acknowledge us, if he just lets us pass, that's fine. But I suspect that he's going to announce something when he sees you coming.
Kertu, as you hide in the bush, you suddenly hear the song he's singing, like he gets to a next verse, and you hear, "I see you there, lovely elven lass." And you realize he didn't actually see you, he's just singing a new song.
Good. Well, guys, what's the big deal? Some guy in a tree. Let's go.
All right, he is definitely out of the tree now.
I didn't really blast him either.
You
what a
wasted
waste of
it.
Can I hold on that one for next
Oh,
time?
no, you can't. I think today's going to be that one day out of like 10 where your dice are high.
Yeah, no kidding. Huh? All right, just practicing.
I mean, he did roll 2 nat 1s, so...
Well, go ahead, guys. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, it seems like we're just gonna kind of not really acknowledge his existence.
Okay, so you're essentially just trying to walk down the river and just try to ignore him for the most part.
I got my peripherals locked on him, though.
And Kertu and I will stay a fair distance away, that in case we need to commit.
Okay, fair enough. So as you guys start getting closer and getting into the line of like earshot where just your movements through the woods is certainly something he's going to be detecting, you hear the song is interrupted as he then looks down and looks at all of you a bit curiously. He says, "Oh, excuse me there. I'm sorry. Travelers?"
Still traveling. If you want to talk, you gotta walk and talk, yeah?
"Oh, no, that's quite all right. Just if you're on your way, I just happened to notice you there. I didn't know what it was that you are doing. But yes, please, by all means, continue on your way. It is a beautiful day."
Yes, it is. It's quite. Although I do think it will rain later.
You see he kind of looks around as rain's dropping from everywhere. "I think you might be a little bit premature in that guess." You see, he's obviously like watching you guys as you're walking by. But yeah, if you want to just continue walking by, he isn't going to stop you or try to engage you.
Well, have a good day.
And to you.
If the group does that, I will rejoin them when we're a bit past him.
All right, you guys cycle just through, kind of continuing on the water and pushing past this, and eventually he's like 100 behind you, 200, 300, and so on, and yeah, eventually he fades away.
All right, now to the lodge. Let's go.
All right, you guys continue traveling along this river, pushing through the woods for another couple of hours. You can see it is starting to get a little bit darker in the sky now as you realize you've been traveling for several hours this day. But as you're getting a bit closer, you can see that the river is getting narrower and narrower as you do so, much to, as Tybor has pointed out, and you see he kind of motions and he says, yes, we're getting quite close now. I think it's just maybe another 20 minutes.
That's perfect. It's getting dark, and Talhoun doesn't have goggles of night. Is that what you called them?
Correct. I heard about them in some stories from here and there.
Talhoun, if you ever want something easier, you can just ask me, and I can give you dark vision. Have I not told you that? Sorry.
Yes, you've mentioned it.
Reggie, it's hard for him to ask for help. He's at that age.
Finn, if you don't mind me asking, it's hard for me to predict the age of a gnome. How old are you?
Well, I'm quite, I'm 110. I don't know. I am would be probably late 20s in human words.
I'm 85.
Oh, I think that's maybe. What did gnomes go for? 200. So maybe I'd put me at 85 as well, or something. Wow! Did you hear that storm?
Yeah, we better get to this lodge.
Yeah, come on. Let's go, 85-year-old man.
As you guys continue along the river, you notice a thin fog surrounds a fortified compound standing in a clearing on the east side of a narrow river. A 10-foot-high log palisade surrounds the compound, whose main building is a 2-story stone and wood affair with a high-pitched roof, gables, window shutters, and a stone chimney. Attached to the main building is a blocky tower of gray stone, its high roof lined with battlements. Other structures include a 2-story stable house and a gatehouse whose flat roof is enclosed by iron railings. A stone bridge spans the river, ending before an oaken door set into the gatehouse's outer wall. Mounted next to the door is a bell with a short rope hanging from its clapper.
That's not a hunting lodge, that's a castle.
I don't think we found it.
It looks more appropriate.
Is it Tybor?
Yes, of course, that's it.
Well, let's go say hello.
Ring that bell thing there, yeah?
All right, you guys approach, having arrived here at Falcon's Hunting Lodge, and as you approach to ring the bell, I think that's going to be a good place for us to go ahead and pause here, guys. 1 minute shy of session end time, but this way we can get fresh and get right into this interaction next week. Hope everybody enjoyed this session and had a good time. We'll see you guys all next week as we continue the adventure.
Fun, guys.
Good
Good job.
Nice session, everybody.
Awesome
Yep,
job, Mike.
great session.
Yep. Welcome
We
back.
all
Lynn.
lived.
Thanks. Have a good week, y'all.
Later, everyone.